The musical intro. Hello, welcome to the Small Gamer. I'm your host Rob, and I'm joined today by Richie from JustPlay.
Hello, everyone.
This is Richie. Look how good looking he is. This is got the look at the commentary team, just gorgeous. That's what we're doing. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So
yeah, we done press ups before we come on.
You're rough and you're smooth. That's what we're. So Richie, thanks for being here. How are you feeling?
Great. I'm having an amazing time running the event. I've always come to these things thinking I'm going to miss playing the whole time, but if I can watch, I love watching Warhammer as well. So yeah, it's been brilliant watching a lot of games, getting little stories as you go around the room. I got to watch a lot of the other semi-final game there, as I'm sort of judging it and make sure everything's above board and that, so we get quite involved here, don't we? So yeah, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, and honestly, I've had a great time at the event. So number one, thank you for putting it on and inviting us. Also, I think a lot of the people here have as well. I also like some of the touches that you've done. I really like the printed out predetermined terrain maps with scenery effects. I think that's excellent. Truth be told, I think that's really, really important.
Yeah.
And obviously, you guys have pushed for the use of tabletop TO, and I think that's really useful too.
No, thank you. I think the terrain map pre-done things, it's nothing new. There's a lot of people have done it before, mainly for convenience for the players and speed of setting up the tables and stuff. I've done it because I felt I wanted to make sure the layouts were fair or interesting, at least on all the tables, because I think Commandant's pretty bonkers in the wrong hands, and one guy gets 3 Sinister, one guy gets 3 Commandant.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? It's just not cool for me. So.
Especially when a lot of people are looking to win that priority role to determine, to get a lower drop so that it can go first.
Yeah.
So it's a double advantage on that role. So there's loads to learn. But I think that's wicked, and it's been fun. Are you surprised to see Slaanesh on the top table right now?
No, I'm not, of course.
But Orruk Warclans, are you actually impressed by that?
I am impressed by that. I guess I'm impressed at myself because when I was looking at the list and I thought what would be interesting to be on the events, I quite like this one by Eric. So I think because we had him on round 2 originally, didn't we? So
we were just like, this will be cool. Let's put the Orruk Warclans on.
Yeah.
Then we made a mistake.
Well, really, the big war, right? Yeah. Which is going to be the different one. And yeah, now he's been on obviously quite a lot because we want to see the Bone Splitters in play as well. And so he was running against Ian last round. So yeah, it's
been an interesting weekend.
Yeah, because I like the list. It's interesting. It's new. I don't know. Maybe everyone will feel about when it goes on the table, is it interesting or whatever, but I think how it's put together, the interactions and the way he's managed his farming up of his big war points and all that is very clever. It does a lot of good stuff. It's a lot of guys to get through.
It is.
Which anyone who knows me, I can get behind. So it definitely appeals to me this time.
I hilariously, maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago, when another stream put on a game of the old Iron Jaws versus Slaanesh, I said that would be something that would just be terrible to stream. So now Fate has decided to punch me right in the face publicly, which I always enjoy. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. I do think the universe has a smile on its lips all the time. So we are going to get to see the big war, mainly Iron Jaws. There is a couple of Bone Splitters elements as well, versus Slaanesh, and see whether or not they actually. The new book has pushed them to level to beat the army, which is currently sat at a 69%.
Wow.
And I think that's ironic as well. Percent win rate at the minute since the launch of General's Handbook 2019. The best performing army in the game. We've seen them take out a bunch of events. Can we see them take out this one? So there's the terrain, and we are playing Total Conquest. One of your favourite scenarios.
Oh no, we're on. Oh no, that's up to date.
Oh, that's not
so
today.
Sorry.
Nathan Prescott is. No, it's okay.
We're on Better Part of Valour.
Wow, we're playing Better Part of Valour, one of your favourites. Our table boss also, thank you to him, Mr. Nathan Prescott has done great all weekend. So he's here too. So Better Part of Valour, what do you like about Better Part of Valour?
I think the scoring is very interesting. I've played some fantastic games at Better Part of Valour, some of the best, even in the old version of it, because I just think there's a lot of cool ways you can play the scoring if you want to. I think once you get players who are quite evenly matched, and armies that are quite evenly matched, which is why I've put it around 5. You hope at this point Swiss has figured that out. I think you can have some really interesting games with it. It's not a game that gets going very quick as well. You mentioned before about a lot of people want to go first and what have you. A lot of the missions that I enjoy playing the most, even as someone who likes to control first turn, is I like the ones that get going a bit slower. You can't burn objectives turn 1 here. Yep. There's a bit of setup. That first turn's a little bit slower, and that's been along with a lot of the ones I've picked throughout the weekend. So yeah, these are all big things about it.
I actually think that's a really solid point. We saw that yesterday in the Battle Plans Star Strike. It's that ability to just do some posturing and some early a lot of the armies that are really, really good at the minute, they just do so well by engaging so early.
Yeah.
But now that necessarily could come at a cost. And we might see that in this game as well. So as you guys can see on the tabletop, there are 6 objectives, and you basically score points if you burn your opponent's objectives. Is that right?
Both. So you score, if you've held it for 1 turn, you score 1. Hold for 2 turns, you score 2. 3 turns, 4. And 4 turns or 5 turns, 8.
No, then there's nothing for 4 turns. So then 5 turns is 8.
That's right.
5
Okay.
turns is
Yeah.
8.
It skips up, doesn't it?
So you have to hold it for that amount of time. So really, it's all about holding your back 3. That gives you 24 points if you don't lose any of those, and then just make your opponent not get them. But then it becomes sometimes 1 gets burned, and that gets a trade-off, and then you start having to change your plan. It's really interesting. And then midway, I'm pretty certain, I'm just going to tell you now, about here, battle round 3, me and Richie are going to be trying to do numbers in the sky. We'll be doing some maths.
Because the thing that I think comes up the most is when you've burned all of them. Really, you know, like some guy's he's gone alpha crazy, he's took loads of them out, maybe all of them, or he wants to burn this last one, and then your opponent's like left on 1. And it scores 8, right? You know, you can't win by just crushing someone that bad. So still armies, you know, if they can control 1 until the end of the game for 8 points, it's so big. So yeah, I just love all the things that can come up with it. It's really interesting.
It's a very interesting battle plan, and I'm very looking forward to see how these 2 armies face off. As always, you can see the lists if you're scrolling on a browser just below, or if you click the BIP app. We'll talk about those in a minute. So I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you're watching on Twitch or Facebook or wherever you are, we're taking questions on the Honest Wargamer Twitch if you want to join us. Thanks for joining us. Crazy Horse on the table in the Twitch now, just saying, can I just say that I love that all the games on the stream have been on different tables. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Richie. The terrain here is excellent, and Crazy Horse, when we're in NashCon, he 3D printed a lot of the terrain that was there. So he's our like scenery judge.
Oh, no, that's
comes in
awesome.
to watch. So he's and it's been great. Like
No, well, I see the selfish side. I wanted to show off how amazing our terrain is at our event and show off some of the different sets we had. But I know as well, just speaking to yourself, nice to have some different ones on, look a bit different for everybody who's watching each game, isn't it? So that's quite cool.
Yeah, and it lets us tell a story as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
Orcs on the beach, what last time?
Yeah, it was Orcs on the beach last time. Now it's just serious battle in the Mortal Realms. Maybe there's something underneath this piece of terrain in the centre.
That's it.
I'm not sure.
The sun cream that Ian should have had on his naked orcs, yeah, or something, I don't know. This is quite good. This has actually got a tunnel through the middle of that, so you can get your guys through that, because that is quite a
this
dominating
piece in the centre. But really important, it's nullification as well. And when we go talk about JP's list in a minute, we'll talk about why that might be so important when we talk about his endless spell. There's also nullification here and nullification here. So really, really beneficial to JP. Not so beneficial to Eric, because all he's got is the Balewind Vortex. He probably won't summon his Balewind Vortex on top of the nullification terrain. We saw that this weekend.
We have, yes. That was a smart play, unfortunately. Very kindly allowed to take back. His opponent was kind enough with that little boo-boo. Yeah, I put a lot of nullification down on this map when I've planned it out. I quite like nullification. You obviously feel it's a massive advantage to people who have got endless spells.
Huge.
I.e. because you control the turn that they're down, you control the order things happen, so you get to do the effect, then remove them, and then cast it again. I think, you know, there's some elements, if you're clever, being able to defend against them as well, though, you know. So if they can't get to places, like this nullification, he might not be able to get the full range he wants out of his mirrors or his wheels by not being able to place them on it and stuff. So you can use it quite cleverly to stop max range stuff, but I do agree, overall, it's probably a little bit too much of an advantage. But it has an effect on the game, right?
It
what
does.
you haven't seen all weekend from me is 4 Sinister, 3 Inspiring.
But here, Arcane also has, and I know for a fact that the person who wants that the most, I don't think JP's too bothered about having Arcane terrain, but I know for a fact that Eric is.
Oh, he will, yeah.
He's really important, and that's going to, and what's really good about really strong terrain, i.e. the arcane terrain, is it pulls the army away, because he may have traditionally put a character here, and a character in the centre, but now he's definitely putting his wizards nearer the arcade, and that could change the composition both positively or detrimentally to the army. So it's really cool to see, and it has a big impact.
We've got some other things as well, haven't we? Because we've got the overgrown for people to hide behind over here, and entangling might affect some charges coming through as well. You never know. If people can get their guys in range, keepers have got quite big bases, you might not be able to fit them in. I have to look at some of the ranges there, but yeah, hopefully it'll have an impact.
Agreed. Should we have a look at the lists? You've seen Eric now. Eric, by the way, just set up camp on the Honest Wargamer tabletop now. He's just here.
Find himself nicely at home, isn't he? Absolutely. He's comfortable.
He's just doing it. So Eric's list is what we've seen previously, and I'll go through it pretty quick. He's got a big Orruk Warclans army. So the way his army works, he tries to generate as many as those big war points, and it's mainly centered around his blocks of 15 Orruk Ardboys, of which he's got five of them, putting 75 Orruk Ardboys. They've got 2 wounds each, so they've got a 4-up save. They move really fast, and they're in the Ard Fist, which is really important. If one of them dies, he's going to be able to spend a CP to bring them back on the tabletop anywhere outside of 9 inches of his opponent, anywhere within 6 inches of the edge. And then even if only one unit dies, he can keep rolling that CP. Yeah. So if he just sacrifices a unit, he potentially is going to put those units, he's going to put the 4 units down if he had 4 CP, which is why I'm pretty certain you're seeing JP put these to screen this edge here. He's just looking to make it so that because he's going to have a backline character for the summoning. That's definitely true.
Yeah. He's going to be. He's also probably being cautious here of Hand the Gork as well, because I believe that is in Eric's list, isn't it?
And Hand the Gork is in there as well. Yeah.
So he's got that to watch out for as well.
Which is the teleport spell. So he can pick up one of those units of 15 Ardboys and just put them away.
That is one thing Slaanesh lack. Like, they can reach in on the board, chain summoning, etc., but they can't just pick something up and put it anywhere, which has been a big thing that allowed the Iron Jaws since the General's Handbook 2019 they first introduced it. It's one of the things that's really allowed Iron Jaws to, really get back on the table and do something.
Yeah, but now being in the big war, those Orruk Ardboys can be they're hitting on 2s. If it's powered up enough, hitting on 2s, wound on 2s, they can move if they get damaged in the hero phase or the shooting phase or any phase, really. Because they've got Zogam, a special rule. They also get +1 to charge if there's enough points. They naturally get +2 to charge. So you're looking at +3. The War Chanter buff on them is going to give them +1 damage. So incredible. Now that 15 is 30 attacks. There's just going to be... They do amazing work, and they survive. They also have a 6-up save because of the shields. So a 6-up after damage save is what we call a DPR. And then if the big war is powerful enough, they have another 6+
another
DPR.
Chance for that, yeah.
So like they're tankier than maybe they seem. But they are facing the strongest and scariest army in Age of Sigmar at the minute. And an army that loves that they're multi-wound.
Yeah, like Slaanesh... it's their dream to play any with a multi-wound, and particularly against an army that cannot deny that in any way. He hasn't got like a screen of goblins here or something like that. Whenever JP fights here, he's going to be getting depravity off him, and it's going to be a lot. Like, you talk back to the game that was cast recently, and the numbers were just insane that it was pulling out, and maybe no difference here, but
it might be. Do you want to tell us what's in JP's list and what it does?
Sure. So he's playing the Godseeker's Host. And he's playing 3 Keeper of Secrets. So, first of all, Godseekers, I think, is the best now, Gives him +1 charge, is one of the big parts of that. So, it helps with the summoning. Once he brings things back, he can get them straight in. Plus, these Keepers are all set up to really shift themselves up the board. So, +1 charge for that's really good, because you've got them with Thrill Seeker, which allows them to run and charge. You've got one with Thermal Rider Cloak, which is going to give it fly and +4 movement. They've stacked up on both of them the heals, so they can keep healing them up. I know JP likes to put the wheels over himself, get some early depravity, cut himself on the
So that's a really key difference, right? Do you like the moving the wheels over his own army?
Yeah, I think it's fringe, but like I seen it last game against Colin Cochrane. Yeah. Like early on, he decided to just run some of his guys over, get some depravity in the bag, and summon just some early demonettes without throwing away his keepers to grab some objectives. So that was quite good.
And he's currently giving us a display of exactly what he's going to do right there, where they're going to go. So it just gives himself, because he's also got healing spells as well.
Yeah.
So effectively does the damage to himself, heals himself, just starts off with some early CP. It's very clever.
Yeah, it's pretty worthwhile. Like, I think it's on the fringe side of things, but the he took some other items as well. He's concentrating a lot on making his keepers consistent, because I think early on in the meta, people weren't making their keeps and secrets consistent enough. So with Cameo of the Dark Prince, it's just a cheeky little artifact. You burn it for some immunity to battle shock and a CP, but then he blows it up and gets himself re-rolls all misses all game, so that's very good. The Feign he'll use on the other one to make that one better. Shalaxi in the right circumstances can use that spell to make itself more consistent in combat as well, because keepers, they're not dicey enough. They probably should be a bit less consistent than they are. Well, a lot less consistent than they are. But anything he can do to make them better, he has done. And then the rest is pretty dull. 3 Demonettes. He's just filling up his battle line there. He's got Supreme Cyberite, which is going to allow him to get lots of extra command points. And then his endless spells are both just, like, I think insanely powerful. The wheels are 40 points, the damage output it does, particularly against the right targets. You roll 6 dice for everything it moves over. If you roll under its natural armor save, it's a mortal wound. Like,
wow. And that's for every unit it moves over.
Every unit moves over, like
Bonkers.
40 points, you know. That's like so good. And the mirror is a real headache as well. Like when that moves, you put it down, I can't remember its distances, but like every hero within 6 when it goes down, not Slaanesh ones, you roll 6 dice. And every 6 is a mortal wounds, but then it doubles. So like 1 mortal wound, 1 6 is 1, 2 6s is 4, and so on.
Yeah, the Enrapturouses, yeah.
From the mirror.
Oh, the mirror. Sorry.
And then plus you can't move away from the mirror. If you're within 12, you move away from the mirror. You take D3 mortal wounds on every move. You move, you charge, you're piling, and it just.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why anyone that can't ally in the Epitome and the Mesmerize Mirror just isn't doing that. Like every single tech game. So we're about to get into the game. Eric gets the choice.
Oh wow! Okay.
Eric gets the choice to give it to JP or not. Do you think he's going to take the turn? I mean, we already know, but I just like, what would you do in this situation before it goes off?
JP's going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt he's going to just plow in with his whole army. They're like, look what those keepers are. Like.
You learn a lot. You learn a lot from how people deploy, right? So Eric has decided to give JP the first turn, and so we're in the off. JP's got the decision. Is he going to take these 3 and just womp them forward? I think the answer is yes. The key elements for me in this game are always these backline characters. He has to keep the contorted Epitome alive.
That's the other one there, has he? I think somewhere by looks of things.
Yes. So
that's it. Look, he's screened to protect the back. That's done. He's not going to get his hand or Gork in. There's no way these aren't going in. The ones he's put at the front, if I know these models correctly from playing against them 1,000 times, one of these is flying, one of them's running charge, and he's kept Shalaxi at the back here.
Well, there you go. You can see.
Oh, there you go. That's it. Yeah, that is Shalaxi, isn't it? There,
yeah.
So
yeah, the contorted Epitome is actually down here and alive. The issue is, I think, if we actually look at it, if he does take these 3 and move them off, as soon as he kills one of those units of our boys, he can put them there.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
if that happens, in JP's turn, Eric's going to have his turn, and they can just go and punk this character straight off the bat. It does require him to roll a 4 up.
True, and because Eric's starting on 2, is he? No, starting on 1. He's got a battalion.
On 1 CP, yeah. So it's going to be a one-shot chance.
That's the thing about Eric's army, though. We talked about some of this amazing CP stuff that he can do. He's not flush with them. You know, JP's possibly going to be on 6, maybe. Like at this turn. So which is what he's doing right now. Actually, is he's coming in now. He's using the Cameo of the Dark Prince,
and you can sacrifice. So the Feign, so this piece of terrain here that the Slaanesh have, you sacrifice an artifact to it, and you get a bonus
for the rest of the game. You get to reroll misses. So it's a one-off use artifact from Aquishy, I think it is from that realm, because he took Thermoride, took that. So he's got himself a CP for free, which he needs massively. Yeah, his army can take advantage of them all day, and then also he's got the battle shock thing, which is irrelevant. But now it's gone. He's had its benefit. He's got his CP. He's burnt that, and he's got that keeper's a lot more consistent. Then the other one will cut itself on the Feign to take a wound and give itself some rerolls as well.
And I think there we go to see the wheel, and I think we're going to see the power of what we were talking about.
Yeah, is he going to try and do that now?
That's going to go there, and it's going to go to the nullification.
Yeah, back into null.
And it's just unbound it. Just crazy good.
Yeah, so he's going to hit maybe all his keepers. I don't know if he wants to hit Shalaxi as well, but they're 2 healer ones he'll probably definitely hit. The model here that is accidentally gone over really, he's got a 2-up save against mortals.
Yeah, the contorted Epitome, yeah.
So what? Yeah. And then he's got it back to cast again in the next turns where he'll be able to use it more aggressively.
So that's gonna give him a bunch of depravity on the tabletop. Our table boss is actually gonna be able to keep track, which is quite cool. You guys should see it on the overlay. as that racks up, and that's going to give him some early plays if he really wants to. But I think he's just going to just save it. You almost always just see the Heed Knights players just save it to put just more keepers down.
What he's doing now is he's like, I think at like 3 damage they might take a drop off in effectiveness, but he'll just heal whatever one takes more than 2 wounds, and I still think he's going in, particularly because he's avoided entangling at the bottom here.
Yep.
You can see, we mentioned that earlier, if he goes down here, he's not going to make these charges. He's come up here. I guess the characters around here, because of Arcane, like you said, I'm sure Eric's 4 little guys are hanging back there, so
big question for everyone, like who you're rooting for. Like OJ's in the chat, Owen Jackson, great man. I like JP, he's lovely bloke, but screw Slaanesh, let's go Eric. I mean, I think a bunch of people would like the Iron Jaws to win. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you rooting for. Richie? I mean, he's your teammate and he's your compadre.
Yeah, so it's that reluctant situation where like you envy, jealousy of your teammates doing well, but you ultimately are going to support them all the way. Like so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
I thought you threw him under the bus because you had Slaanesh. I was putting you in a really hard spot.
Slaanesh really frustrate me. Like watching some of the games today. I'll say about JP. I think it was game 2. He played a howler against Thomas as Feck, completely messed it up. Got caught out by rules he didn't know. Feck Dragon went twice after dying, killed loads of keepers. What did JP do? Just put his whole arm in and try again without the mistake. It's like
super forgiving.
What's that about?
Super
like,
forgiving.
It's
too much. So in some cases, Dadhammer CG all the way over in Oz says I'm rooting for Orruk. I think Slaanesh will win. Fat Snook says I'm all in for Slaanesh. Iron Jaws Big War can do it. Charles Black says crush that filthy Slaanesh. And then Vintra says I'm channeling my War energy for the Orruk. Screw the filth.
No, right, that's right. I think. Knowing JP, like we ain't played this before. We ain't played Big War. He won't have seen all the interactions that I'm going. I'm sure he was reading on his lunch, but Mirror's coming out now. He says,
so this is a big one, I think. So what actually happened in the hero phase? Because we're still in the hero phase for Heed Knights. They healed one of the keepers up.
Okay.
So you can see they're sat on 10 depravity points. And then the mesmerizing mirror comes out. That is just an awful spell. Like it just does so much work. But the ability to unbind it, like there's some good magic casting inside that army for the Big War. So when he generates War points, he can sacrifice D6 to get +2 to cast.
That's incredible.
He's also sat on Arcane already, so he can already get +1 to dispel as well. No, that's not true. He can't.
Not to dispel, just
to unbind. He can't do that. But yeah, he's got a lot of good casting in there.
It's interesting. I don't know what that mirror's doing there. Just getting it out for the sake of it, maybe. But maybe he's just going to try and protect the flanks of his keeper with a touch or something, bit of area blocking.
Well, so yeah, he's cast his own spell for reroll hits and saves.
On Shalaxi, that is.
On Shalaxi.
That's just against heroes, though.
Yeah.
So, which I can't imagine he's going to be fighting this turn, and I don't think it really matters if he fights Eric's heroes. They're not exactly the don't want to take nothing away from orcs. I'm sure even the shamans like to enjoy smashing things up with clubs, but they're not very good at it. So
no. Fantastic says Bruce Slaanesh, he's playing great, so good on him. Also, all the way over from Texas, big love. And then Salathon says Slaanesh for the win. So there's a lot of love. I don't think he's going in.
I think going back to the point,
I don't think he's going in.
No, it looks like he's maybe not now. That mirror placement. We'll see.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure now. I thought he would, because I don't think it's really a bad thing. Like, you just get in there and just get killing some of the orcs, get the pressure on them there. Like you say, you can replace it all if it dies. He's going to get loads of depravity fighting them. None of Eric's stuff's buffed up that side of the board right now. So he is going to get a lot from it. But like JP can use that terrain to his advantage a lot compared to the orcs. Between the flying keepers and the speed of his keepers, the orcs haven't got that luxury, unfortunately.
Oh, so he's definitely like luring in. I think he's going to go for the counter charge. So what I think he expects Eric to do, and by the way, I feel this is a mistake having watched 2 games with him. He's a Tony Moore player. So as soon as I say that to you, that makes loads of sense.
Okay, yeah.
He's safe,
cautious.
Yeah, he's cautious. He's not going to go all the way in.
Methodical.
What he's going to do, what I think he expects him to do, is just womp over. Yeah, and I think what you're going to find is he's just going to come to this mid range. The issue is that mirror is going to cause him some drama.
It's going to help if Eric does get the double. JP is going to get to control that mirror, maybe if it's left on the board, and because it's quite. I think it's cast on a 7. maybe.
So an 8 to dispel would be quite hard.
Yeah.
The issue is we saw this actually in the last game as well, that with the big war, especially with the Ardfist, you don't want to let them generate a bunch of CP. Because then when you kill one of those units, they're just recycling even more. So they've definitely run there. So he's prepped, and I think what he's prepping for is the multi-threat charge. Because let me just get rid of.
Because like we saying, that terrain is going to make it very difficult for Eric to get a lot of models in if he fights around that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The mirror's probably positioned, if we are presuming the heroes mostly are up around this arcane, if they start to move down, the mirror's going to start having an effect. If JP loses the turn, we'll be able to put the mirror into a load of heroes. And the heroes are crucial.
Oh, right, of course.
Because the war chances give you big war points.
Oh, that's definitely the plan, right?
The wizard is casting loads of late range nukes. Yeah. I haven't seen JP doing any range checking from wherever that wizard is, though, because it's got a very long range because of the Balewind Vortex it wants to pop out, hasn't it? Yeah. You would have expected him if he was positioning those keepers there to maybe make sure they're out in nuke range.
So as we can see there, we've got they've got War Chanter here, War Chanter there, and the Weird Knob on the left. So,
and this is the key cast of this one, isn't it?
It's actually the Wurgog.
Okay.
So the Wurgog I can't actually see at the moment. So
where's that Wurgog hiding?
Nathan Prescott. Where is the Wurgog? I think he's here. I think he's there. Thank you. Yeah, he is. We've cracked it.
Yeah,
we've cracked it. So all 4 characters are here. So I think, Richie, spot on. You've absolutely called it. And apologies to JP there. I think what he's done is he's just gone, I'm going character hunting. And you have to deal with that. And what's really cool...
And even if Eric dispels it, JP will just cast it again.
That's the point. Yeah, he can keep putting that pressure on with that spell.
But the nullification might control the range here. You know the first placement? I'm talking about next time when JP tries to place this anywhere here to then move it on to get its max range, maybe the nullification will stop that.
It's a great play by JP early on.
Cautious.
Yeah. Which is not what we were expecting.
Yeah, not from his first tell, but we're falling to the bait as how things have been out deployed. I don't know, but
Donaldinho is saying
it's a game. Nothing happens tier 1, right? We've already said that they open of the show, so
yeah, no, I think so. Like, it's what's really interesting is when you do see people play like this, you're like, oh, you're going to play Warhammer then?
Yeah,
cool. Like, I'm excited about that. Like, it's very different.
Oh, look, is that a first summon there? So he's done exactly what I said. So I think has he burned some depravity to put 10 lads on there?
Yeah,
10 demonettes.
Yeah, we'll find out from Nathan in a moment. But I
think it's 9 depravity to do that, maybe something.
So he hasn't screened now. Now we're talking about screens. It's Hand of Gork, right? That just scores that, or this Hand of Gork here just scores this.
But can't burn at turn 1.
No, I know, but then the keepers have to move somewhere to and now they're not threatening that way, right?
Yeah.
And then the more CP Eric has, the more he can afford actually. He can afford to sit in a castle and just throw 10s out or 15s out and just go and try and score that objective.
And from talking to Ian about the previous games he's commentated on, he said that Eric's
cautious.
He's like what you just said, the Tony Moore thing, you know what I mean? I've got a lot of time for this. He's going to play it long. He's not happy to take the board. He's not going to get his green war paint on in the toilets and shout war and run around the hall.
Really, really hard thing when you're playing against Ironjaws, because if you've played them for years, you just expect, especially the old really competitive builds since, like you say, 2019, since they've been back, stacking the wars, running forward. That's been a playstyle that you've seen a lot. They're now not. This is now not the situation.
Do you think Eric can read then? Is that?
Huh?
Do you think Eric can read? Is that?
I don't know. He's a 40k player. Not sure.
Okay. I did find the colouring book. It's in lost property. So if anyone's lost it, Orc players come and see me.
Hello everyone in the chat. Yes, as you can see, the CP was spent.
Okay, is that what he's doing? The CP.
So he spent his, sorry, not CP, he spent his depravity points and did summon 10 demonettes.
Yeah.
And then we're on 13 war points for the Orruk Warclans. You can see there in
he
the
will
overlay.
He's got that by spending his CP.
It's just by having, so the War Chanters just generate CP.
War Chanters generate some. One of the Shamans generates some, but then he spends his CP, and every Orc wholly within 18 of his general, every 10 Orcs wholly within 18 of general gives him one. So we get 7 from just his Ard boys if they're all in range. So I think that's why, as much as Eric can spend these CPs to bring everything back, he's not CP flush. He's got two things to think about: wanting to res, wanting to run, what are reroll charges, all the things that everyone else wants to do, but also bringing units back and keeping his war points stacked up. So he's not flush, is he?
No, not at all.
Has he found the other games? You know, has he been able to build up a CP?
I think what you'll see him do now is move incredibly conservatively. He, by the way, first spell he just did not dispel the mirror, so this mirror is going to become important during the activation.
Yeah.
I personally think if Eric gets the turn, he's going to give it away anyway.
Most likely,
because he can afford to. But we'll see. But I think the actual first thing that he's going to do is just move real conservative. He's not going to go all the way in.
Eric has some real long-range threats, though, right? In this Balewind,
in the
Balewind Vortex, and the nukes.
Balewind Vortex, and you can stick on the Wurgog or the Weird Knob Shaman, and then potentially do some stuff
like a Hand of Gork, Foot of Gork type vibe going on, whichever one of those it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let's have a little look
I think so. Doing the mortal wounds, but I think the mortal wounds aren't really important here. Into that, and I think he knows that, because killing those isn't going to do what I would do. What he would do, I don't know, but what I would do is, if I was going to put them anywhere, I'd put them here.
Yeah.
And then I just whittle those down again, giving me a Hand of Gork afterwards, and put them through.
I like that because it just gets the game going. I love little plays like that. You know, where your army can just he could easily just throw 15s there, aren't they? 15 hard boys somewhere, get the game moving. Start getting break the deadlock in a way, but the error with that here is the depravity.
Yes.
You know, you throw the unit away. Yes, maybe you can't trade 15 hard boys with 10 of these against keepers when he gets 14 depravity as well back from it. I see the game so often with Slaanesh where people play so well, they keep themselves in the game all till turn 3, 4, whatever they're doing. They're doing amazingly. They're playing out the skin. You know, they're really threatening them, and then I'm like, oh, what's your depravity count? And they're like, 70.
So
right.
Just FYI, that is Eric's turn done. I called it.
Wow.
Yeah, done nothing. Nothing.
So all these nukes must have been out of range. I wonder if... Oh.
Eric won the priority. I don't have any money, but I bet you a model I find in my house that he's giving it away. He's giving it away.
You are now, right? What's the point? But this is where JP's little play here should... Yeah, here we go. That's JP. I recognise those terrible tattoos. They probably say something.
Eric took the turn. No, wait, Eric gave the turn or took the turn? Because if Eric...
Eric's taking it, yeah. Of course, so JP's moving them. Wow.
Why? Why would that be your plan?
Is he now going to start teleporting stuff and taking objectives and burning them?
Why would you let yourself be set up for the double in that situation?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think that's right at all. That's when the
does
commentators get quiet and mumble. You always know that. I'm
really thinking. It's hard when I haven't seen the big war on the table a lot. I'm thinking, obviously he's still got the hand. He can still do what we've just been saying. Go and get the game going. But this time he'll get an objective for it. If he charges a bird one.
I think he's starving him. Of depravity points.
That's a very good point. I not thought of it in this sort of situation before, yeah, because when the depravity happens later on in the game, it's nowhere near as effective, right? If you summon all your stuff turn 4 or 5, you're not getting as much use out of them on the bounce back. I often talk about that with when armies have multiple wound models, say like a Deepkin army who's got thralls and eels. Get the game going with the thralls. Don't give the Slaanesh any depravity. Let them maybe get some depravity later on off your eels. So, turn 4, 5, maybe they're summoning some stuff. So it lets you play the game for longer on even points. Oh, he's also just racking his war up though, right?
Yeah, he is. That's also a good point. So he's got his war points now up to 29. He spent a CP to do that. So I think he's back down to 1 CP, but we'll double check. And we'll find out what damage is done from the mirrors, because those mirrors could take out his characters. But we'll double check. The mirrors have only
got a 6-inch range, though. I think so. They only pick heroes within 6. So where JP's position, I guess he couldn't get to any of them because they were back here, if I remember from that picture earlier. I can't see. There's no way that's within 6, right?
Yeah, so I think in the chat we're getting. They reckon that Eric's just waiting to lure in the Slaanesh army and then Hand of Gork in the backfield, because they do have a pretty weak backfield. There is nothing that actually... There's actually nothing... Oh, no. So +2 to cast. Hand of Gork has been cast.
Okay. So this might be just that get the game going thing, yeah?
Yeah.
It could be as simple as like he knows he can't kill a load of keepers' secrets, like as well. I don't know.
Right, so huge. So a spell's been cast called Green Puke, and what he's done is he's done this to his own unit.
Okay.
Now, because the war points are so high, what happens is they've got a special rule called Zog'em. Yeah, and then what that means is once he's Hand-a-Gorked a unit, and you have to Hand-a-Gork unit outside of 9.
Yeah.
You can then move a unit after you've Green Puked it.
Right.
Okay, and then he's also dispelled the mirror, which is meant to be done at the beginning of the phase, but JP's like, fine. It's an odd stipulation that it does have to be done at the start of the phase, but like JP a bit showing it, he's a good sport. So this center unit is going to be Hand-a-Gorked. I'm feeling top to threaten the epitome. But
So you said this. So you said this Zog'em allows him to move after it's teleported.
Yes,
okay.
Because when you take the damage, it happens at the end of the phase.
Right. Okay.
But you still can't move unless the Zoggin is different to the Iron
So he
Jaws
zapped
rule.
his own lads back here, end the phase, moving them.
Yes.
Nice.
But
nice
I need to double check with our table boss. Zoggin is not different to the Iron Jaws rule. It won't allow him to move within 9 because the Iron Jaws rule doesn't let you move within 9. Oh wow. So you move D6. So he's going to be. So he's going to teleport 9. Then he's going to be. He's going to move D6 at the end of the hero phase, and then because the war point's so high, he's got +1 to charge, and then the Ard boys have got a natural +2 to charge.
Yeah.
So it's a +3 to charge.
Plus your movement.
He's
in, right?
Well, he won't get to move. He just gets to D6 move.
So D6, so teleport 9, D6 move. Then he's possibly got +1 charge if he wants to spend war points on that, and he's got from the Ard boys
3
war scroll stuff.
So if he rolls a 4, he's got basically an automatic charge on the Zoggin rule, which means he's. So I think that's what he's going to do is just keep launching these over, and just grab the points. Then the keepers just have to fight, but they're just losing that game. Like
yes. If he keep then he'll make JP go, right, because he'd be down on the objectives.
Yes.
So that's the thing. But if he keeps hold of all his, then deadlock's broken, and Eric's winning this stalemate situation that maybe Eric just likes to be in.
Yeah.
So we're not wrong with that, right? You know, his army is super resilient, and he can bring it all back on. The more command points he builds, Eric's position gets stronger and stronger, doesn't it? So.
He does, and also the more he starves. But then that's also true of the Heat Knights army. But the more he starves. If we just have the lights go out.
I got a little darker there on the camera at the minute, so night time over the orcs.
Yeah.
If that means the bad moon's moved off them or something like that, probably. So have a look at all these orcs have come out of now that have been teleported. I can actually finally make sense where all these characters are now, which is interesting. So I wonder which part of the battlefield he's going to teleport these to. He's got the top or the bottom. It probably doesn't really make too much of a difference. So he's gone top. Yeah, he's gone top there. Yeah, that's good because he's got that threat on the Reveler, the one that's got the 2 immortal wound save. So it's going to be nice for him to be able to pick that off with some guys in combat because he won't have a problem getting the Aractrus later on, maybe with some of his range spells using that Balewind. So it'll be good if he can get this charge in really long, kill the other character there as well, and control that side of the board. Clever. Did you think? I'm not sure if he needed to go first this turn to do this play though as well. That baffles me.
He could have done it at any point.
Yeah, do you feel like he could have gone second this turn and done that? Like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe JP twigs and moves his units up the board a bit more, or.
Well, so Eric's really new to this army, and has only had he painted it up last week, and has only had a few practice games, and that's telling. And he's already made a key mistake. He forgot to do his War Janter buff on that unit that he's moved across.
Right.
So now they and that just requires you to
no
just do it.
take backs on that then.
Yeah, no take backs on that one. And so that means that they just won't get +1. That basically makes them twice as good.
Doesn't need it to kill them though.
No, he doesn't need it.
Doesn't need to kill 10 at least in this case.
But it lasts until the next turn. So even if this comes in, and so it's still a really positive.
Yeah, still could have got him some damage into the keepers afterwards and that then. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Hi, Rintra, by the way. Hello, everyone, by the way, who's watching live. I'm joined by Richie from JustPlay. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
And our table boss is Mr. Nathan Prescott. So he's excited. He's basically watched Orruk's battle all weekend. Like, best holiday you could have had, realistically.
Up in Liverpool, watching Orcs bash each other in the head. Wow. So we're just hearing in there that he's rolled a 5 for the end of hero phase move, so not a problem them getting in there. Let's see how far he pushes down to try and get hold of the other character. He's measuring that range now. He's a little knock there. He's measuring that to see if he's going to get into them or not. Looks like he's going to decide not to and just take that objective best as possible. Probably wants to pull the keepers out of position as much as he can.
Like
if you want to make that
charge, you're going for the epitome,
well,
right?
I don't know. He could have. Oh, he's measured 9 away, hasn't he? Oh, no, but now he's moving within 5. I don't know, because he measured it and then sort of put his guys that way. He might want to decide to just make the charge as far up here as possible, which would take the keepers like really out of position to deal with them. So maybe he wants to try and pull something off like that.
I don't think that's a bad play, but that
maybe without the damage buff up as well. He wants to, let's say he doesn't kill enough, and then JP rolls a 1, brings 6 demonettes back. If he doesn't get the objective from this fight, then that's really bad. Plus, this would take models off being within 6 here.
That's true.
So if he'd done this charge over here, he'd string his orcs out in that way, and the 6-inch bubble might not catch all the orcs, and he might need them against these demonettes. So probably just playing it safe, killing one character here. It's not going to stop him. It's not going to stop him summoning at this point. So
no, I don't think it is in any way.
That's sensible play.
But
really.
Let me tell you how much I hate this model.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
The contorted epitome is just so good.
I've played Gits recently. Most of my range damage is mortal wounds from spells, and I just can't get that thing off the board. Always fun when I get hold of it with a couple of lads with swords and shields and stab it to death and smash the mirror over my knee and 7 years bad luck for grots, which
and
they don't live that long, do they? So it doesn't really matter.
Everyone wants it dead as well. It's just so good, and I just don't know why. It's got so many inherits, and it's an amazing on combat for 200 points.
It's incredible. It's a 200-point model. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, look, there's no way he's going to come and try and grab this now. Seeing this top-down view, you would have been moving yourself a lot closer over here, wouldn't you, if you wanted to try and get that charge? I can't see it. Smash them all in here. Make sure this objective's 100% secured, and you're off. Plus, here's the key point.
Yes.
If he goes within 6 of this, it's got a locus.
Oh, good point.
Of course.
Although
it's a 4-up or
no offense to Demonettes, then not going to do anything to those hard boys.
But if this move doesn't happen, like if this doesn't work,
good point.
He's threw away loads of depravity for not got the objective, not got the game going in his favour, because Eric's not spent any war points by the looks of things there. So these are probably 3s and 3s, 1
2s
damage.
and 2s.
Only if he spends all his war.
No. It's just it's basically like a tank, and you like tick off the ability. So it's just.
Oh, you sure don't spend them down?
No.
What? Wowza. Wowza.
So that +1 to charge is just. I like this. I like finding out about this. It's
See, I was thinking the other stuff. I was like, oh, he spends like 16 points, he gets +2 charge, or he spends like multiple, Zogums and gets like 2d6 extra movements. So I was thinking, oh, this is amazing. He's going to spend all on stack it. He just has it all when he hits that number.
Yeah, so when he hits
bloody hell.
Normally it's the d6 to get the +2 to cast is the important one. Where you actually spend it, and still it's just d6.
Wow.
It's just d6. So now his army is army-wide. His army is now army-wide. 2s to hit, 2s to wound. They've got a 6 up after damage save. They'll move if they ever get hit towards the closest enemy unit. They get +1 to charge. So this unit is moving +3 inches currently. Charging +3 inches. And he's rolled the charge. It's an 8. Oh, 5 on the die, so 8 in total.
Okay. So he's checking there to stay out of 6 there, see? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He wants to make sure he definitely secures that. Well, my opinion changed lots, and I think your chat's opinion should change lots. Why are we bashing Slaanesh against this crazy stuff? He gets to roll 4-ups and bring his units back and everything.
Well, in 4-ups, and he does need the command.
Come on, Slaanesh. Is that phone still working to Games Workshop?
Yeah. Should we find out? Hold on.
Let me see if
Let me just. You can get on touch. Yeah. Can we just get the? Yeah.
Hello? Is that the Games Workshop Rules Department? In the next issue of White Dwarf, can we get Slaanesh some more rules, please? Thank you.
They need help. Thank you. That's their hotline.
That's it, yeah.
That's the hotline we have. Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Andy Dunn has just answered that for us. Appreciate that. Hello, Rules Department. What's the? Andy, could you just let us know what the extension is for the rules team, please? That would be real good. Thanks. Andy in charge
Is it like
of the phones at Games Workshop.
Oh, is he? Right, okay, brilliant. I was going to throw back to when you used to ring the mail order trolls to ask them rules questions. It was like, call the rules line, and it's just the mail order guys answering rules questions. Can you imagine that now? I'd be phoning them every round.
Just every day.
Just well, Games Workshop officially. John in the mail order trolls. They still call them that?
What?
They still call mail order guys the mail order trolls. That sounds like something in this day and age you would do.
I don't think it's okay.
No.
I don't know.
I'm going to start calling my staff trolls.
Right,
Recruiting.
So we've seen he's not gone for the epitome, which I think is the mistake. But he also already hasn't put the damage on. I understand as to why, but there's no reason.
This is safer though.
It is safer. And
Eric's safe, remember?
Yeah, he's a safe player.
He's a safe guy.
He's a safe player.
We're in safe hands with Eric.
And as you can see, he has drawn them around as much as possible, exactly like you said, to pull those keepers away, so that because at least one of them go in that way, which means he's never going to send two in this direction. I don't think he's going to send two unaccompanied to try and break the castle.
So are these Battle Shock immune or what?
No.
No. They haven't got that?
No, they haven't got that.
Come on, where's that chart? White Dwarf, if you add it up to 40 points, Battle Shock immune. So, because any chance that one of these keepers fluffs though over there, right, and he keeps the objective or something.
But also,
he's
really importantly, his strike back. If you'd have put the War Chanter on, that's such a mistake, because even if you've got 5 guys, that's 15 attacks, 2s, rend 1, 2 damage.
Yeah.
It's crazy good.
JP's screening's just not being good enough here.
No, like he's
plain and simple. Like for me, and now seeing this develop a little bit more, it's just not good enough. You know, he needs to stop the 9s, right? Doesn't he? But he could do that. You know, these.
So the Demonets have been sent back to the realm of chaos.
The 2 little heroes can make huge impacts with the 9s. Mm-hmm. You know, 1 in each corner. That zones off a hell of a lot of stuff from my experience of blocking 9s. He summoned 10. 10 could have been there or something. It wouldn't take him long to zone off the back of the board and then advance these up. You know, get these guys up a little bit maybe to zone. Obviously, he's got the other side of the matter where all the orcs could just charge, but
yeah.
Good. Well, the game's going. Great move by Eric. Game's going.
I think that 10, like you said, why is there 10 here? What's their job?
Yeah. What is their job there?
What's their job right now? And they could have been there.
Yeah.
They're screening out.
Or maybe the keeper's locusts should have been in position better to support these flanks. You know, if one of these if he's charging and they can't get outside of 6 of a locust, then it's a whole different story, right? The keeper will start cutting these guys down.
I just think it's because these Slaanesh players and armies, they just take their 3 guys, they stick them next to each other, and that's what
it's like 101 play, isn't it? Like let's stick to something sensible. Me guys, they fight together. We protect ourselves with locusts, and you know, sometimes you've got to know when to get away from that. Maybe this isn't the case, you know, but Eric can bring a lot of his army to bear.
Eric's crushed it with that move. And what's really interesting is now, I mean, what's cool for JP is he's just going to get to fold into this part of the board for defense. So he should be able to screen nicer now in the next turns. But Eric can absolutely just do the same thing again next turn if he decides to. So JP's got some real decisions to make.
He's got to get one back now, hasn't he?
He does. He's got to go get one back, and he's also he's going to burn that objective. So we're going to find out how many he gets for that.
Well, he's controlling for 1 turn, so 1.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I don't think he's. I think he's going to burn it. That's a mistake.
Yes, if he doesn't burn it, that is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Well, he scored 1, so he has broke the deadlock. This is where we start doing maths.
Yeah. We told you. Midfield. We're in the. So yeah, no, he doesn't score, and you don't score anything until you burn something. You don't score it for holding. You have to burn it.
Should we wait till we find out to see if he burns it before we make ourselves look silly with maths?
Yeah, I think so. Nathan Prescott, did he burn it? We'll find that out. It's been burnt. There we go.
Okay.
That's the right decision. So now it's Eric's all in the driving seat. All he has to do is so JP has to do 2 things now. He has to protect these 2, and he has to go over and take
break
them
something
at the same time.
And that's Eric's done here. You see the unit he's removed right in the middle. This one's the weakest objective. Do you want to put all your keepers here? Not really, because they'll get folded in on pretty quick, won't they? So
we just got.
He's starting to try and nuke these down now with some of the spells. So
yeah, Hysterical Frenzies has been cast on the Yard Boys up there. So yeah, just try removing that unit. Hopefully to the point where he doesn't need the keepers, and he can send the keepers off on their mission. But like Eric's opportunity cost, he's lost one of his 5-man 15 units up there, and he's just potentially won himself the game. His castle's still pretty strong. He's got some pretty scary units back there. But this unit here of our boys is buffed with +1 damage, as is this unit. So his front lines are going to be hit. And one of the weaknesses of these Keepers of Secrets is when they do go over there, they are only 1 model.
Yes. That is a big deal, because he's going to have to wipe everything out here. If Eric's got any of his units, I'm sure they are positioned, threaded in with each other here, etc., he might not be able to get his hands on all of them and kill them all. So, but he's certainly weakening that unit with every spell he's got. He hasn't got much choice, there's not much else to put them into. Slaanesh spells are actually very short range. There's one of the disadvantages of all their spells.
I also don't know why you would move your keepers here. I don't know what you wouldn't do, with blue. I don't know why you wouldn't have them here, send them through, and then just roll a flank, strike 3 times, activate 3 more times.
That's what we thought might have happened turn 1, didn't we?
Yeah, and then you just go down. Like, hitting the center's a mistake, because then you're just going to get enveloped back. And I know, they want to die, but, if you don't have to die, why would you?
These are the flying ones, aren't they? Now, surely it's got to be over here.
Yes.
Because this one is actually close here to never making it.
So the excruciating discs have gone here, hit the Ard Boys, and they've killed our Ard Boy. And then because they've obviously hit this nullification terrain,
yeah,
they've lost and they've immediately been dispelled. So really useful, those kind of mid-range spells without nullification. Yeah.
We'll see if JP could just clean that side up now. Maybe he'll clean that up and then make his move the next turn, because he's got control of the double now, at least JP. Mm-hmm. So
he has. I also think a mistake to
because you only score the objectives once this game, right?
Yeah. I think I know why Eric gave the turn, ignoring the play. Took the turn, ignoring the play. Because what he wants is he wants JP to kill a unit of Ard Boys, and then he wants to win the priority roll, and then he wants to. So then he immediately puts a unit down on the board somewhere, let's say here, then win the priority roll, move, and just activate that way.
If he spends a command
CP.
Point and 4-ups it.
Yeah, I mean it's not much of a risk.
No.
And he still did that. He still did the Hand of Gork as well. He gets more. There's more advantage for him in going first, and then taking the initiative in that case. But we'll like to find out.
It's about when you can win now, right? Like this Mystic Shield fails, okay. Just trying to buff up his keepers, ready for whatever fighting does or doesn't happen now. Yeah. I'm thinking right now, JP's max is 16 right now, isn't it? Off burning his 2 here. So how quick can Eric get to 16? He's only got 1 more. 369. No, there's a hell of a lot of games still to go, isn't there yet?
Yeah. So Arcane Bolt has killed another 1. Here, the scenario is the better part of Valour. So the objectives are now placed here, here, and here. It's about holding them, and you score points based on how many turns. That's the objective. We are in
Eric's turn 2. No, sorry. JP's turn 2.
JP's turn 2.
So Eric's had his turn 2, and Eric burned this one here.
For this 1 point just here. Yeah, so that's something. JP does not. They did FAQ it so you don't get depravity from endless spells. So they did take that off him. Positive result. Net win for all of us.
Definitely. He's checking his feign range now. Just caught himself out of range of the feign. He wants to cut himself there, see if he's in range. Something he didn't check when he was moving them round as well. It didn't seem to check a lot of ranges for me when he moved them. I usually expect to see, measuring if he wants to be in the spell, not in unbind range. I said earlier, measuring if he's out of range of nukes and stuff. So there's quite a lot of stuff I didn't see him measure, which I would have been thinking about.
And this is why I don't think mates should commentate mates' games, because you're always a bit mean. Come on, mate. Yeah, I love you to bits. Do it proper.
It's crazy how much stuff you see when you're not at the table playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the difference in the overview of the commentary, but you also don't know the mood of it as well.
True.
And what people are thinking and what they're doing, seeing the players. Because I really like watching things on stream. I love watching them live as well. You can see the two players' faces and what they're doing. There's just so much to this game. It's amazing. Oh, here we go. He's definitely committing one. Because what I was trying to say earlier is it's not like he has to get the objective back now. You just need to make sure your score at the end is higher than your opponent's, right? Yeah. You only score each one once for a number. So right now he might just take the time just to clean up that side of the board, consolidate his position, and then get going again.
What's really cool about the Ardfist is with that 1 CP, he spends that 1 CP and then he just puts that 15 here. If he rolls the 4+, I agree. Yeah, and now that's just another threat. The smart move.
Well, maybe we'll see a keeper come here to help with that this time.
I really hope. This is also really bad screening as well. This doesn't need to be there. It's 9. So it can be there and then up.
I know.
Like it doesn't need to have. So I'm really hoping I see this move forward for the screen. You also don't want to let these guys just have that run and charge. Well, not run and charge, but move and have the potential charge. But I also don't think they're going to drop off their objective anytime soon.
Eric, though, doesn't seem interested in really pushing out from his either to protect stuff getting near them as well. But again, I didn't see charge rates getting checked on keeps and stuff like that. A certain amount of that you can just eyeball, obviously. You know if you want to make it shorter or not, don't you?
But so there we go, pushing off that back line now. Potentially, I hope he doesn't open himself up there. So it looks like he's not going to tail end them. Make sure that there's some space.
He's just got to be careful because he keeps letting Eric make these massive charges.
There's space there. Right. There's space here.
And where's the keeper to protect it? Well, here we go.
Oh, so
let's bring this guy down here. Let's stream that. Let's put a locust in position there.
Good job.
This is what I'm saying. I know from my experience, I'm not super strong with the theory without me playing some games. Obviously, I can look at stuff and figure it out, but I need to play. I need to practice. I know I always have. Ian is fantastic at the theory of the games and has real belief in what he thinks he's read and what he understands, Whereas I really like to play. I know JP's a bit the same, No, we like to play. We like to get our reps in with our games and all that. And a lot of people say that. But maybe, a bit of belief in the theory of things is good as well at times.
Yes. It's reading the stuff on paper and then putting it into practice. It's understanding the main threats and how you're going to utilize them and where they go. I'm like you. A little bit of both for me. I think once you actually start to read through things, you think gyrocopters are a good example. I've read the new Free Cities and I see what their utility is.
Okay.
Clearing hordes. But then I look at them again and I'm like, they're brilliant. Probably the best trading unit for clearing hordes I can put in an army. But then I look and I think, okay, but where are my major threats in the game right now? They're not going to clear these 15 hard boys, and I lose them. They'll clear Plague Monks, sweet. They're not going to clear the Flyer Slayers. They don't help me against Flesh Eater Cores, and they don't help me against Slaanesh. So some of those really major issues that I can... Gits, they help me with, but then Gits have got enough tools. I don't think they overly care about the gyrocopters. So when you look on the paper, you think they are great, but as a tool, when you start playing with them, you think, I can't see where I'm going to use them. But
I'm always like, what do they look like? What does an army look like with this stuff? And as well, whenever we do our book reviews on our podcast, we'd always at the end of it just do some armies. Like maybe not, the army that you're going to see on the board for the next 6 months, but just, how many points does all this add up to?
Yeah.
What's it look like? And, follow the obvious armies that are pushed in a book sometimes, isn't there? Oh, here's this battalion. If you take all this stuff, this is what an army looks like. So, yeah, and I'm just happy to get on the board at that point. Well, JP is, to get back to the action here, he is making some moves with these keepers. I wonder which keeper that is down there, if that's the flyer or the run and charge one at the bottom of the board. So that'd be interesting to know which one that is down there, how strong and consistent that one's damage is.
Helping us get the fancy cams.
This one does look like it helps with the Locust now if they do come in.
Yeah.
I think that looks like it's being reacted to at the bottom. That seems in a fair position to stop. He might still just be able to sneak in down here though, and kill them. Get this? It's a channel down here for a big charge, isn't there? And a pile in. Sneak on here. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's out of six.
And there is also, yes, a big hole.
The massive hole in the middle, yeah.
Yeah. It depends where he can get a unit in. Can you guys spot any holes as you guys? Yeah, so he thankfully took this character and moved him here. That was a major drama.
Yeah, we just spoke about that, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise that was all open. So JP finally starting to actually, this is what you should have done early as well. Push these forward. There was no need for those nets to not do that job. And if he was going to summon those units, summon that 10, he comfortably could have drawn a line here, controlled a big portion of the board with those demonettes.
This is a really popular formation to try and defend the objective, and it's a correct one. It's successful, but I'm looking at the size of these charges, and if there's some stuff outside the 9 here, what happens when he rolls 14?
Yeah.
And gets to there, and his pile gets in this side here, and takes him to within 6. So it's still open.
One of the big powers also. So there's some special drum beats that those war champions can cast.
Oh baby!
And one of the drum beats that they can put onto a unit is to have a 3d6 charge. So 3d6 plus 3. Yeah. 3d6 plus 3. So you're right. Hand of Gork here.
D6 move.
Big charge
boom, boom.
goes in. And then that's another one. But like I said, I think he can just fire these over. And then he only really has to get to turn 3 and get on an ascendant lead on all of the objectives. Then he can just burn away. But I still think
Eric's loving this.
Yeah, he is.
Eric's loving this. Look, there's no I'm sitting here loving this for Eric. JP's just reacting to what Eric's doing. He's coming up. He's clearing some R boys up there. So what? Eric literally probably couldn't care anything less about them. They've done so much already. Those keepers are in no position to take advantage of the turn roll, really. And
like you guys can see there, as we were talking about, there's this, you can just go through this cool gate, get through here, or just go round it and attack there. So there's loads of options, realistically, for what you can do.
I maybe just took the turn to have +1 for next turn.
Yeah.
So I like that, I like going first. I've got no problem with it. People say to me, what if you get doubled? I'm like, what if I don't?
Yeah.
And also, I'm likely not to.
Yeah.
So,
and also the people that play for the double turn, they play for it, that's how they.
I get told, why have you done that? Why? I'm like, I don't care. I just move my lads around for 15 minutes, cast some spells, and.
So we've just seen the Keeper of Secrets go in there in the charge phase. So the first Keeper of Secrets has killed 5 and generated so it generated 5 depravity points there. And their Shalaxi Hellbane is going to pile in attack. And then just in case that unit's not clear, that 6 command points that JP's already sat on is going to activate both of them again and just wipe this unit. So that unit of our boys has been thoroughly dealt with, and it looks like JP has cleaned up the board now, so it's less likely to get deep struck and or charge. But that's a lesson learned too late.
Yeah, I think so. And horrendously out of position, those keepers now. They're fast, They're not. It's not so miserable. It's not like they're a 4-inch move. So.
Shalaxi, by the way, Shalaxi's just done nothing. Shalaxi's done nothing. Command point coming in to attack again with the keeper, and I'm gonna say that I reckon there's our boys are still gonna swing back. You
reckon?
Yeah. These guys, they're on a 4-up base save. They've got a 6-up ignore, another 6-up ignore.
Because it all stacks and they don't have to spend the points. Stacks. Oh, my word.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, this big war's really good. I'm going to be taking anyone who's in Team JustPlay WhatsApp chat, will be giving me loads of grief. Because after this week, I was like, this Iron Jaws book's boring. I'm sick of reading it. I haven't got past the Iron Jaws bit. I'm so bored. Where are the new mechanics?
There's loads.
Maybe I should have turned the page before I just give up on it and spat me dummy out, because this is actually pretty sweet. So
this is really good. And that's the big war as well. Arguably, I think the Iron Jaws bit might be better. Yeah, and then I think the Bone Splitters is different but as good as the Iron Jaws. That's not to say, and Eric smashed it, that a big war isn't great, but they all play very differently.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, some of those Iron Jaws armies, when you start seeing them charging your charge phase with their armies, you're going to be like, no, thank you.
Yeah. That was the bit we thought was interesting. On Thursday night, or club night, I was talking through a lot of Iron Jaws games with JP against Aiden, who's here, playing a Iron Fist, I think that one is called, or Iron Suns or something. I had to counter charge, because what was quite interesting, they did have ways to answer Slaanesh, but we struggled to get past the depravity problem in the end, and there was 3 keeps. So maybe that list wasn't quite right, because, between smashing and bashing and the charge thing, which the charge thing helps get around locusts as well. It's because, and when the Slaanesh charge phase, they do their charges. Then at the end of their charge phase, they have to do all their stuff first, i.e. Locust, and then you can charge in, and they can't be Locust because they were outside the 6 to start with. So they've got answers against Slaanesh, as long as they can then overcome the fact that the depravity number goes massive.
But unfortunately, the keeper did it. I was wrong. So those 2 keeper secrets taken out. Those Ard boys, they're not long for this world. So
that looks like, what, 18 depravity there now?
It is, yeah. So we'll find, that's a bunch added on to depravity, so we'll crack that up. Then we're into the priority roll. That's what we're into, and that's going to be important. Because I think...
is it? I look at this one and I'm like, if I was...
Eric takes it, he's just going to give it away. JP,
if I was Eric, like, I don't care, right?
JP gets it, he's going to give it away.
Yes.
Okay, wow. So that was huge. That was huge. So the Iron Jaws unit died. Eric had his CP for his Ard Fist. He spent it. He's got a roll of 4+. He does a 4+. He just puts 10 Ard boys back on the board. And there's loads of places he could have did that. Done that anyway. But he failed the 4+. So.
But again.
But he gets
another. So what?
Yeah.
Because if JP's army was in a position to take advantage of this double now and catch Eric on 0 CP, like that was a massive thing against Stormcast when the Sequitur thing was, right? You'd always be like, right, can I get a window where I can kill these units without them getting brought back? Or against Death, where you're trying to double turn them so they couldn't summon everything back. And he hasn't really got advantage. Eric's just going to get his command point again. He'd be in the same position. He's already on 30 war points.
Right, so JP has 1 priority now on the priority roll here. Deciding whether or not to take it.
Come on, bashing my lad too much here. What can we do? What can we do? We've given Iron Jaws a million outs here, haven't we?
He can give himself some more depravity. Look, he's sat on 19 now. He's not far off. He can wheels himself, do some more depravity again. Yeah, and then I guess
the position he's in now is when these keepers go in, they're coming back. He's got so much depravity, hasn't he now?
Yeah.
So that's safe. Yeah. He can throw them all. He can have a big fight, and he'll put them nearly all back on. He will put them all back on the board.
But I would probably do it. The turn after. That said, the issue that he's facing is another unit of Ard boys just being slung somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Eric does
You'd do that again, wouldn't you?
You would absolutely.
Okay, so JP's sitting on, like, look at it now. We're turn 3. Now they're worth 3 points each.
They're worth 3 points each, yeah.
2 turns is 3. Oh, why can't I remember? This is killing me.
No, 2 turns is worth 4. No, 3 turns is worth 4. Yeah. And
2 turns is worth 2. 3 turns is worth 4.
Yeah.
And then all of them 5 is worth 8.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 turns for 4. So 4, 8, 12, 15.
13.
40, 12, 13. Doesn't beat 16.
No.
Okay? So he still needs to break 1 more. But
however, if Eric just gets the next priority roll, he'll just win the game when he burns the... Oh, no, he won't. He now has to hold it for 5.
Now until he gets another one.
Till he gets another one. So
and that's what Eric's looking for most right now. So JP's he's running out of time. The clock is getting on him. You know, he's got to get over here and get these now.
Yeah, he does.
This is why I love this mission.
It's good. It's really good.
I just love
it. There's a ticking clock.
Yeah. Maybe I love it because I'm not good at it. And I get confused by all the numbers. There's probably like 20 people in the chat looking at it, just going like,
you just feel
this,
like
this just happened, you idiot.
All the time.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, actually, I've got no out. 3 hours later, and my opponent's like, you lost this turn too. You know, I'm like, oh, right.
Well, JP's still decided. Hour and a quarter left on the table, on the clock. We're in turn 3, so it's fine. But lots of the engagements haven't happened yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of dice to be rolled.
There's lots of mechanics to happen, realistically. I personally think I would bait out. I would risk it at this stage. I think just going over just cause is a mistake. I think let him try to hand a Gork something if he does. I don't think Eric's that bold, but he might. Then that gives you some openings. That lets you go through. Set up for the double, you go in.
He can't, like, it's run out because he can't get there turn 3. He gets there turn 4. Maybe he gets 1.
So
if he gets 1 then
is
it's
Eric
8.
Taking the turn?
Eight,
no, sorry, is JP
1.
taking the turn, Nath? We'll just find out what that is. JP's taking it.
What?
And he's healed up this keeper here that's got the Thermal Rider Cloak.
So he's won it and taken it.
Yeah. And then the Keeper of Secrets has failed to cast the mirror which I think would have been coming out from here or potentially over there.
It's
you're
interesting.
you're not sure about taking it.
Well, the thing is, right? What he
so-
can't really do a lot with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the
But
way,
maybe he's looked now and seen these gaps himself. Sometimes in the moment you don't catch it all right, you don't get it perfect, but then you've looked at the table and thought, wow, actually, if I give him it now, he's got me. He's thought, right, I'm going to have to push these lines up. I'm going to have to
you
reinforce
could
my
just
back
move
lines.
them up. Yeah, just create some screen. So if you
summon
guys in
three,
the
can
chat,
summon 20 lads
the
now.
SP points that you're seeing is summoning points. So everyone's got a mechanic, so we just had a standardized system.
Special points or
Special
something.
points, yeah, but summoning points, effectively. So there's 20 depravity at the bottom, and there are 30 war points at the top. Yeah, so thanks everyone for pointing that out. Taking it, yeah. I'm not 100% sold on taking the turn, personally.
But on the flip side,
Yeah.
he's going to lose if he doesn't take it. Because he could lose if he doesn't take it from some of the points we've made, haven't we?
You're right.
So maybe he doesn't like the fact. There's no way he likes the fact he's going now, right?
Yeah.
There's no way. I can't be buzzing. Well, I'd be buzzing if I realised I was about to lose. You got to remember as well. I've got locusts. If these charge him, then he is still going to go first. And that it's this. It's just there's too many options for Eric to get these objectives off him. We pointed out one here, where if he can, these guys can take some damage, get a free move, get close, make a charge. Charge is long. Objective taken. A teleport to anywhere in the middle here, coming through the tunnel, coming around the back, long charge, wipe these out, take this objective. Like, Eric could take them both this turn.
Yeah. And another good point is that Eric's also sat on no CP this turn, so any units that get wiped out,
But JP can't take advantage of it. He's gonna try down here, is he?
I think he's just gonna flood in with options at this point, which set up against for the double might be a mistake. I think protect here, just go in twice and then keep it safe. That could be the option. But then
It looks like one's coming in the bottom here. Is he?
and hopefully and again, that's the really good thing about the monsters, right? They can just clip on that. They can just clip on that bottom edge, and we'll go have a look at that over there. So,
Is that the flying keeper or the run and charge keeper?
it's a run and charge. Yeah. The flying keeper's up there where Shalaxi is. So there you go. So he's definitely going to try and go on that. Just sneak around and try and reduce as much damage as possible. I think
So that bottom piece of terrain was entangling. Was you not within one at the start? The reason I'm saying that, I'm in a unique position that I am the judge of this tournament. So not commentators getting stuck in. It's sort of my job.
Yeah, we always do that anyway. So that's our new rule. So he was within 1 inch of. There you go.
The
He's moved
tangling,
it back too. So because of entangling, it makes it 2. If you guys want to see the lists, obviously, just scroll down and you can see the list, or you can click the BIP app, depending on how. Thanks very much, Twitch chat. Just help each other out, you gorgeous dudes. And ladies. Thanks for watching. So charging at the bottom here, what do you think? Long charge up here.
They can't be within 12. Are the top ones within 12, Nate? I'd love to know that. I can't see
I
that
don't
being a
think
thing.
they
There's
are.
no way, is there?
We can use our pattern pending grid though, try and work it out. There you go. So no, they're not within charge range. So that's unfortunate. That doesn't help us out in any way.
So we got the bottom one to go in there. Try and take that bottom objective. He hasn't got a chance, but it's well, I suppose he has got a chance. I'm sure Eric's got, like I said earlier, got units laced through here though to make sure he's always got at least something within one. The keeper's not going to wipe out 2 units of hard boys, which is what is down there from my. I guess he's got a unit here, and 2 down here. So, but JP's got to do something at this point. Like I said, he is running out of time.
He is running out of the turns. I think.
Out of turns, yes.
I think
right,
Eric's just done really well, just dragging those keepers from where he was originally. And pulling them out. JP should not have put them in the centre here. That just left him open there and there. He could have just had a keeper on either flank with another one maybe in the centre, but I don't think at any point the centre's the threat here, because the way the board is spaced, you envelop every time. Let someone go deep in the centre and just bring round. You've got the movement. It's those flanks that are the issue and especially against this army. That deep striking. It's just good. It's just very rare that we haven't had deep striking like, obviously we've had evocators, right? We've had some beat sticks that can deep strike, and eels are a really good example as well.
Correct.
We have, but normally they don't have a very strong back line like this.
Yeah.
So normally you can just go straight at them and punch through. But that's a really strong front line to be teleporting units out of. That also
This
hit really
is
well.
a tough army, this Iron Jaws army, Big War army, to play against for the first time. You know, I think it's well worth anyone watching these games back and listening to us and seeing how this army works. You know, if you want to swat upon some stuff yourself here, because there's certainly things JP could have done differently, and I'm sure with experience, you know, he will do going forward as well. Like so.
Oh, thanks very much, Mirmaz, for subscribing for 18 months in a row. Thanks to everyone watching live. Hope you're enjoying it. Let us know who you're rooting for. We are in a turn 3 of Better Part of Valour. We're seeing, this is for the win, Eric with his Orruk Warclans and JP with his He Knights of Slaanesh. JP, who we saw play round 4 of Facehammer, if you want to go back and watch that, where he played his teammate, Mr. James Tinsdale. And then Eric, who we've seen 3 times this weekend because he's just been whomping them to the top tables.
He has, yeah.
Put him on yesterday. We were like, oh, let's just put some of our boys on.
Yeah, these are interesting.
Yeah, these are interesting. All of it. Like, oh, these are very interesting. So all of those games worth watching, and the conservative playstyle that Eric employs particularly good when he was off screen, taking a point off Mr. Tony Moore of Team England fame. So
and that was a really tight game. So
yeah.
I think it was they played in, what was the one last time, Total Conquest, and it was just like. No, not Total Conquest. One before they played. Oh, I forget. But it was lines drawn. You know, armies weren't really flying. Couldn't get around each other. Just middle of the board. Just scrapping over those objectives. Yes. Yeah. Just scrapping over those objectives there. So, are we going for a summon and a charge here, maybe, or just a summon and a screen? So he's spending some more of those very precious CP, which he is going to need to replace these keepers. But, you know, like you say, the game's ticking on now. He's not going to be able to build up this depravity and take advantage of it like you mentioned. Maybe Eric starving him of it early on. Eric certainly puts a lot of thought into the theory of the game. You know, the chats I've had with him around the table, and when I played him at Facehammer, he was on Slaanesh himself, so he got a lot of experience against him as well.
Yep.
And you know, he was very quick to draw an end to the game that we had. You know, like Grots were, you know, dominating at that time. Like so, he wasn't convinced he could get some out. You know, just thinking about it a lot. I'm thinking very far ahead a lot. You know, I was like, oh, let's just play and see what happens. He's like, nah. I know where this is going.
Yeah. Eric, a 40k player traditionally, and it says he's absolutely loving Age of Sigmar at the minute. Says he's just finding it a barrel of fun, and he says it's like what he really likes about it, which I'm gonna maybe have a go at him about afterwards, is he likes the movement of the game, but he's doing very little of that. Really not showcasing. That's not true, but he does love that you move around to project power. And we have.
He's done that in that last game in Total Conquest. That flank turn that he done. I see him come round, you know, and that. So that's really good. Yeah, he's here with. He's friends with Matt Robertson, who's on the England ETC team, and so we got a room full of a couple of. They got called sort of world champions, don't they? You know. Yeah. So.
No messing about at this stage.
No.
But
and his friend Matt's up there as well, doing really well. I think he's playing on table 2 with his change host. So
if you guys want to know where the characters are, that shouldn't be too much of an issue for me to showcase again for the Iron Jaws. I'll show you just. Oh no, sorry. There we go. So they're all over there, aren't they?
Yeah, we got a Chancer here. We've got an Orc Wizard of Iron Jaws origin there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, not knowing the names.
Weird knob.
Yeah. And then the other one for the bone.
The Wurgog Prophet's there,
yeah.
And then there's another.
Chancer must have moved off screen. Yeah. So on the big map, that's
just at the.
We're looking up here.
Yeah.
So here. Can't really see those dots, guys. Can you there? Oh, and he's moved all the way down there. He's just scaled out around the board. So.
Well, it's just to make sure those buffs, because you can see the little markers. We've got the plus damages hit there and there. So I think that's really important for that damage. So
this is what JP needs, though. He needs numbers if he's ever going to get these back, because when he does come in to take these objectives, he's got to take them that turn.
Yep.
Because to say we're running out of turns, the clock's getting more and more in X favour, just being able to burn them all and win. So I don't think he's done enough. He's not done enough around here, has he?
What, to keep him safe?
To keep himself safe, though, still.
The issue is moving off, because there's still those 3. There's 1,000 points of damage on the board, like in those 3 keepers of secrets, and they can all strike twice. So that's actually 2,000 points of output that he's about to face, which is just devastating. And why Slaanesh do so well? Flip it into I mean, who knows? Like, after we see this one keeper go in, let's see how the R boys stand up to it.
Yeah.
Because we did see Shalaxi do nothing, but we saw one keeper take out 15 Ard boys, and one keeper here, 15 Ard boys, one keeper here, 15 Ard boys. Your army's a lot less, especially when you charge them back. You're striking last. They go twice. Realistic, based on what we've seen so far, he loses 4 units without having even done a damage yet to the keepers. So
Eric's not going to do that.
No, he's not going to do that. No.
It's 2 in his favour. You know,
where do you go? Because he also can't leave his objectives.
No, well, he may go nowhere.
Yeah.
He is winning.
So the Demonettes have charged.
Okay.
Using a command point to re-roll.
So can you only teleport units if they're not within 3?
No, they've charged.
No, I mean, if Hand of Gork, is that the same as the Grot one where you can't use it if your units are engaged, you know what I mean? So maybe JP's trying to stop him teleporting.
Yeah,
so he's trying to keep him in combat now and stop him being able to go anywhere now.
Yeah, so
if
so
10 Demonettes survive all those glads, but...
Or maybe his plan is to go in
just tag at the end
with just one.
Yeah, classic
tag,
little move.
Yeah, and then hold them there a little bit.
He could get 20 here, right?
The issue is, Nath, is there access to the command ability to pile in the hero phase? Is that just Iron Jaws? Just Iron Jaws.
Yeah. So what he's done here is he's protected himself a little bit with a screen, hasn't he, JP, right? If he hasn't made the charge. Now, if he does make the charge, this isn't 20, though. It's 10, isn't it?
Hold on, sorry, I think we're talking the wrong...
Are we down here?
I think so.
What's down here?
Yeah, that's it. Because we've got the telestrator up. We can't see that. Sorry, dudes. We'll just go... There we go. There is 10. There we go. That's what we're talking about. So it's 10 Demonettes down the bottom. That makes way more sense.
That's
and
more
a great
like
play.
it. Okay. Great play.
Yeah.
No, that's more like it.
So there we go. So he's going to try and score this objective and hit here. So he's going to be fighting twice. Probably will even spend the CP to let the Demonettes fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would imagine he's going to need to.
Yeah.
He's going to need everything he can down there, isn't he? So.
But those Ard boys have got, as you can see there via that little token, they have got double damage. They are going to...
This die makes no difference, though.
I know.
No.
I think Eric will be smart and hit the bodies.
At least he's cut it off quite a bit, though, hasn't he, with the keeper being this side. He's at least protected the flank of the Demonettes a little bit. Yeah. So
great decision. So that combat's going to be...
It depends where these units are threaded as well here, doesn't it? So
well, I think they just block.
They just got rid of blocks as he's not layered them. Okay.
No.
Oh yeah, because it looks like this is maybe a banner here or something.
Yeah.
Be interesting to know, but
yeah, he does have little markers actually on them.
Okay.
But we had a little discussion. He might start painting because he's obviously got this spot color of red. I was like, why don't you just make the spot color for the different units a different color? Yeah. Green unit. I know that sometimes doesn't look very cohesive, but I personally think it's way more. It's a lot easier to tell on the tabletop.
Do you want to really get into this?
Yeah, go.
So I never done that on like Dryad, for example. You know, he summons them.
Yeah.
And how much has he got in his summoning pool, right? So let's say he loses 5 from this unit and 5 from this unit, and then he puts them back on and they don't match in colours.
Just paint more.
Well, okay. Yeah. I got to 100 and I was like, I'm not doing any more. All right.
Yeah.
So
also building Dryads is a nightmare.
Yeah. Mine are all just the same. So
yeah,
that was my reason I never done it anyway. So
yeah. Well, my Chaos Dwarves, I ended up doing 2 blocks of 30, and then I was like, I'm not doing that again. So in the first swing, so the keeper.
Is this the keeper attacking? Is it Nath? Yeah.
It's killed 4 Iron Jaws. Killed 4 of the 15, so there's 11 left. It's going to attack again. And then when it attacks again...
So you can see he's keeping as many as he can over by the Demonettes, like Rob's just said, to make sure these important attacks are going in now. Oh, so we did not locust them? Oh, no, this is JP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and obviously they've been locust. We should have...
Yeah, sorry, I thought when he put that down next to the Iron Jaws, that was Eric about to move them all.
You told me about that. I'd actually forgotten about it. I was like, oh no, strike back. I was like, oh, and you were like locust. I was like, of course.
Yeah, so they're going to be gone on 4 times before. Like JP said earlier, though, like I was talking to him at round 3, he made 13 locust rolls and failed 11.
Yeah, wow. Good.
I was just like, yeah. The fact you got to do that 13 times is already sickening.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I want to do a big shout out to Elf Bro. I'm sure I just saw your name in the chat. But I'm watching. To be fair for this, he has to lose unit 15 in order to summon a unit 10, so it'll never be an issue. Yeah, so you do have to lose the 15.
Right, okay, yeah, all of them. Yeah.
To put them all out. I tend to find that painting the different squads, different colours is quite cool. And then
I
also
do, it's much better.
unless you attack it, like do a different paint scheme.
Yeah.
Right, it's less boring, seems less of a grind.
All my gits have got the hoods done with different, patterns around the hood, so I
Sweet.
can tell what units are which and that. So, Wandering Rose asking what's happening. Well, we're playing better part of Valour. We're in turn 3. JP's took the got the prize roll, won it. Not in the best position. It's a double, but it's not the best position double ever because Eric, most of this game, has just held a nice tight formation here. He's holding all his objectives, made it difficult for JP to come and fight him at all, so JP hasn't. JP played a safe game himself, turn 1, didn't do a lot, but did slip up. Eric managed to get a load of our boys over here, burn an objective, which has given Eric the advantage in the game. JP then dealt with those hard boys and had to use 2 keepers of secrets to do that, which come from here, and they come in. He tried to deal with them with any other way possible, every spell he had, everything he could to whittle them down, but I guess he hoped he would only feel like he needed to commit 1 keeper there, but he didn't, committed both of them, and that is why now, after a double turn, he's ended up with just 1 keeper in here, and these in a position holding here.
So the Demonettes. Go Demonettes kill 2 hard boys in that combat. So this is the combat that's important down at the bottom. It's all
They're
about...
just not very good in 10s, aren't they? Is it 20 that they get the 2 extra attacks when they roll a 6 or something?
Yeah.
That's when they get pretty effective.
So also, and any 6s to hit generate 2 extra wound rolls, so that's always good as well.
I think this is another unit here, because you see that checking of 3 inches then?
Yeah.
They were just checking if these could pile in then, I think, if my experience...
Yeah, no, you're right. So just to there. So he's got a second unit. Good play there.
Yeah, out of combat, but
within
on
range.
the objective,
but,
right?
But not. So. There's 10 Demonettes. I don't think he's got 10 within 6. I really don't.
Well, these will die, though. Well, they're not going to die. He's going to lose some more hard boys, because we've still got the keeper to go again. We've still got the Demonettes to go again.
It's whether or not any hard boys... It's whether or not there are hard boys left after the keeper and the Demonettes
I think JP's going to... I'd say JP's going to grab this one back now.
That's actually huge.
Yeah,
really
huge. Big save from this turn to do that, so... I didn't even know where those Demonettes come from down there. Oh, we summoned 2 lots of 10s.
It's 2 lots, yeah.
We split them up. 2. That's where he done. That's where
a
they
nice
come
little
from.
play as well, and moving them along with them. And he's also doing that. He's making Eric feel the pressure of that top objective. He's like, by the way, I'm going to do this at the top in a minute. Or he's got these set. Oh, no, he's not set for the priority. So Eric in his turn is going to have to respond, because exactly that same thing can happen in this top. Eric hasn't screened very well, and Eric's had loads of turns for loads of movement. He could have been out here.
Yeah, he could have been out a bit more.
So actually, a big misplay by Eric at the bottom. He didn't have to be on that line, and I don't know why he didn't. So 7 more hard boys are dead.
Yeah, like the position of this unit here, that could have sat here. We could have moved them down and made sure he had 15.
Yep.
At the back end of it to protect it possibly. So 7 more died. Then did I hear? Yeah.
Yeah, 7 more died.
It's a big kill on them, isn't it? So
there's 2 left or 1 left, with the Demonettes left to go.
There's about 5, is there? No, 2 or 3.
They lost 4 in the first.
It looks like he
should
get
6,
it,
7. So there's 3 left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. He's just deciding which ones to take away.
Casualties now, isn't he?
Yeah, because you take away the ones from...
How many have I got within 6 there? Is there any way I can hold it? I've been through this process a million times, isn't it? We look at it, we're like,
want to hold this
does it make any difference? What can I do? What he needs to do now is, in my opinion, is can he take the Demon... He'll be also thinking about, it might not be right actually, he'll also be thinking about, can I get the Demonettes out of 3? What he should be. Is that a thought? If I take these hard boys away at the front here, can I afford to take them away here and stop the Demonettes going away? Because that would be the end of the number. If he can get these Demonettes out of 3, so these not within 3 of any, then how many has he got left there? Can't quite tell. Because if he could have took these ones away and had them over here, the Demonettes can't fight twice because they're not within 3, and then maybe between these and these, he's got 12 models or 11 to keep hold of that. Maybe. And that happens a lot. people miss the fact that you can stop them fighting twice by removing models cleverly at times. You know, because you do other discipline things like, oh, let's keep my guys near the objective. Oops, if I'd left them ones here just within 6, they can't fight again.
So there's 2 more.
So he couldn't have changed that.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He couldn't have done anything about that. If Eric has thought about it, so what? Yeah. Keeps the demonettes there. Stops
all
them.
All he can hope is that he keeps those.
He wants them dead. Oh no, he doesn't want them dead.
No, he wants to keep 2 alive to hit the demonettes.
But he wants those 2 to die when he's got CP, doesn't he?
Not now.
Not now.
Not
so
now.
he probably should have left those ones down there.
Yeah.
But then would they die to battle shock? Because they're not battle shock immune. Haha.
They've got that one thing.
The one rule that everybody gets given.
Yeah, they don't get it.
They're
pretty brave though.
Yeah.
They're pretty brave normally. And to be fair, that Keeper of Secrets and those demonettes have chewed through 30 wounds with a 4-up save.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. He's done some pretty prodigious work. If I was...
and maybe as well, what he does allow is JP to make a mistake as well with piling. And maybe he gets too greedy and comes around and tags those and allows them to come in. You know, you never know how your opponent can make little mistakes under pressure.
I think
At this
JP's
level,
not,
game 5, I have certainly made enough mistakes to lose countless tournaments.
Same.
So...
Same. I think he hasn't actually piled in those...
no, he hasn't. He's not made that error, but it's an out, right?
Yeah.
Do everything you can. Sometimes I find I waste too much time on silly things like this.
Trying to
like be clever. Like I was playing Russ once, and he was like, "Just tell me what you're doing." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. Like, why am I trying to hack?" Oh, nice.
A 1 hard boy on 1 wound kills 2 demonettes. The swing back, so he's going to run away in battle shock. But the fact that he killed the 2 demonettes, that's 8. That takes him down to 8. So there's only 9 models here. It's how many other models for the Iron Jaws are going to be within. No, look, they're miles away. Oh no, 8, no, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's a bit risky, but not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. So well done, JP. Great play. Really recovered there on that bottom.
Even the game straight back up now. He'll burn that. Put 1 in the bag as well, and we're back to stalemate.
We are.
But I do think Eric has got the holes he needs.
Yes, but that said, he's now down 30 hard boys, and JP's lost nothing.
Yeah.
JP's lost nothing. So,
but on the flip side of that, right, JP has lost nothing, and he's got some more models on the board than he started with. But my God, would I be in a dream situation going into turn 4 and seeing that Slaanesh had that many depravity, you know. 2
depravity points.
He spent it on some demonettes.
Yeah.
You know, when this fight does happen, it ain't happening again. He's only having that big fight once, which is a hard position to get into.
Yeah. I think also you can really neuter, because most people never remember that Shalaxi can't pile and attack twice unless the keeper's alive. It's the keeper's command
help
ability.
each other. Yeah,
so the correct decision, if possible, is to try and mortal wound out or just deal damage to the actual Keeper of Secrets to stop the command ability, allowing them to attack twice. Easier said than done, especially with that screen. So smart play again there by JP. But I really do think that as much as we talked about Eric's caution, he could have just created himself some screens.
Yeah.
He might have been worried about them flying over the top, but to be honest, all he had to do down there to not let that situation happen was just be a little bit ahead, create that block there.
Yeah.
Those demonettes won't even get into the front, truth be told. And he's got the room to do it.
I see Adam Kunis here comments, such great play, piling twice, everything before the opponent fights, so pro, not against JP, but Slaanesh is so dumb. Can't agree more, right?
We all agree.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I think what I like about that play, whatever, you're right. That is so stupid. He was in a bit of a pickle, though. I think Eric had put him in a tough position. He's managed to find something that he's got out of it there, at least, you know, to get back in the game there. But yeah, you're right. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is, and it's why I said on the last stream, and I think it's going to be my public stance from now on. I think they should be banned at tournaments until they're fixed, if they're going to be fixed. But they're currently sat on a 69% win rate in Age of Sigmar 2. That's pretty strong. I would say that's 9% over what we generally consider to be acceptable, somewhere between 40 and 60%. So hopefully the game designers do take a look at it and approach it. That's not to say that Eric isn't out of the game, and it's also not to say that there wasn't a way for him to not let that happen that turn.
Yeah.
Eric's had the tools to currently deal with it. That's not me saying, because there's still 1,000 points of combat on the board in those Keepers of Secrets, and they can go twice. He's sat on that 2 CP over here.
He's got some of that depravity back now as well from that that fight hadn't gone on yet.
Yeah.
So he has got a little bit now. So
yeah.
Well, like to see what Eric's thinking, what he's going to be doing now with this turn. Probably excited to see some of them spells happening. I wonder what can be engineered up here.
So he knows he's got the double. Right,
he does know he's got double potential.
I don't think he's that sort of player. He's a 40k player, so he's turn by turn.
Turn by turn.
In his head.
Yeah.
He also just wins priority rolls like that, by the way. He just wins every
Okay.
priority roll. He's
Okay,
like, I'm just gonna let them be turn by turn. But at the same time, I think he's going to look, because
he's doing his measuring at the rear now, isn't he? So he's checking the gaps at the back.
One good charge with a buffed unit of Iron Jaws
can end this game. Yeah, absolutely.
One good charge. Yeah, that's all he's got to do. He's got to teleport Hand of Gorkum here. He gets that. He's got to kill. He's got to kill those 3, which sounds like a lot. Or no, he doesn't even have to do that because of the way it works.
Let's see if that's a game.
He's got to score.
So he's on 1.
Yeah, no, he scores that. That'll be another 1. So he'll be on 2. Yeah.
These are 4.
Yeah.
So 4, 8, 9, 10.
No, 4 plus, that would be 8, 10. He'd be on 10, and then JP would only be able to...
With that, yeah,
and JP would be on 9. So he only has to get one of these objectives on the teleport, and he can win the game and burn everything this turn. Yeah, so he's still got it.
Yeah, and I hope I'm right with that, Matt. Turn 3, held it for 3 turns. 4, 8, 9, 10. And JP with a potential then of only 9. Okay, yeah. So I hope if Eric's read that.
Yeah. Big shout out to Combat Phase Podcast. We're playing better part of Valour. We're in turn 3. Iron Jaws. Nath, he scored the point in turn 3 for the Heed Knights. And then the Orruk Warclans have got their 3rd turn coming up. And then we're into priority roll. It's better part of Valour, so it's all about holding the objectives. So these objectives, which are now held here, these ones are now worth 4.
4 to Eric.
Yeah. So sorry, I put them in. Oh no, I've messed that up.
Start
More time. Start again. Sorry, ladies and gents. Yellow. Okay. So currently for red player, so for Eric, for Iron Jaws, they're worth 4 at the end of this turn, and for JP, these are also worth 4 as well. However, if he can go over and pop 1, that crosses out that 4, and that puts him on. That's going to put him on 9 plus his 1. It's going to put him on 10 against JP's 4. So it's a teleport and win. That's the win. And he's got room, man. He's got room.
I feel like Rachel Riley vibes going on there, Rob. I'll have 1 from the top, please, Rob, and 3 from the middle.
Is that a catchphrase? No, I don't know what the
countdown.
Countdown.
Yeah, with all the numbers. You know, I was on a Magic stream once, and Rachel Riley was a commentator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was. They were sponsored. She was, a head, the spokesperson or something for Mind Sports International.
Yeah.
And she turned up, and was doing some commentary on a Magic the Gathering stream.
That's fantastic.
I know, crazy.
Yeah, it would 10-9. So if he burns 1 this turn from JP and burns all his, it's over. That's the math.
I'd be looking for that play now.
I'd be looking for that.
I think his chances in the middle. This is the one, right? This is it for Eric here. How would you? If you're going to engine it out, what would you do?
So he's got this. So what he's got, which is nice. It's all about if he's in range. I think that he's here. Is that 24? I'm not sure, because he's going to want to take this unit away, yeah. And they're the ones he's going to want to teleport, in my opinion.
Okay.
Then he's going to make sure he creates a screen. Yeah, so even if everything comes in, they're not going to score. That's really important.
He's got to protect himself.
He's got to protect. There's no point engaging. This unit needs to come forward as well.
Yes.
And just be like, no. Unfortunately, that's a flying keeper. So that's going to be an issue. Can pop in the back.
True.
But you could just put your characters here and create it so they can't drop down. Easy said than done, but could work.
Yeah, some clever spacing, you can stop that. Make sure the first one that dies, he can't get within 3 of the second one, and then you've stopped that. Like I've just said, you have to be within 3.
Yeah.
You can make Shalaxi split here, so he can't go twice with Shalaxi. There's maybe a window if this 6 inches, see here, for locusts isn't a thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe they can charge to there and not be locust, and then
I think they definitely could charge here and get that. But I'm not 100% certain. Obviously, the cameras sometimes can make it a bit risque. I'll try and go find out.
What we really need to know is, has he cast Hand the Gork? Like, he's doing it on +3, right,
I don't
Nathan?
think he's doing anything yet. He's still deciding. I think before he makes the play, and as we've already seen, just big shout out because he's my friend and I love him a ton. Nathan Prescott being the table boss there. Sam Watson, who played yesterday, said, so horrible having Nathan as a table boss because you never know if you're making the right decision. Look at that implacable face. He's like...
He is. He's on you there, isn't he?
Also, the raw fury which he's had in his head wanting Orruks to win and beat Slaanesh.
Yeah.
He also says he doesn't know what's going on, but I don't agree with that.
The Hand the Gork thing for me, right? I play that obviously in the glue spike gits, and sometimes. Okay,
so he's
Fist
cast
of
Fist of
Gork.
Gork onto the unit of Demonettes. So
sometimes the first thing I do is.
Wow.
Oh wow, the big number that is. That makes it stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So he's cast it on a
11.
big number, which makes it forced to do immortal.
Yeah, so you roll a dice for each model in the unit, and then on 4 pluses now, not 6s, because he rolled so high, does a mortal wound. So he's going to take half those Demonettes out. I would actually say that's really important because he's just.
Always strikes last on the Demonettes.
Is it on the Demonettes? Yes.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
Keep
Keepers out of range, probably.
Out of the range. Yeah.
But he's got a Balewind, hasn't he? What I need to know is this Hand of Gork happening?
No.
That's what I need. I was just saying, with the gits, sometimes, first thing I do, cast Hand of Gork. Did I do it?
Well, this time,
sometimes I'm spending so much time making decisions.
He war chant as a unit before he Hand of Gorks this time. That would have made all the difference, I think, and potentially would have put this epitome dead, which, with that epitome dead in the last turn, that would have meant right here, there would be options, there would be less board space for summoning. But we'll find out. Nathan, did he cast Hand of Gork?
All Nathan's heard in his ear for the last 5 minutes is Hand of Gork.
I think he's waiting. I think we're waiting to see if he rolls it.
Hand
of Gork. Did he cast or try to cast Hand of Gork?
Is this it now, is it?
He's cast it on a 9. Now
JP.
that's unbindable. And it's been
It's
cast.
unbindable?
No. It's in someone.
Oh, he fine.
Someone could try to unbind it.
Okay, wow. These big war points.
I really enjoy how much Rich is into this now at this stage. He's in. He's ready. So what unit's he going to take?
The
He's
middle
taking
one
the
he's
middle
took.
unit. No.
Oh, where's he going? So is he going to try and smash these keepers off the board?
Nah.
No, he's just checking that first 9. Come on, is he stringing them? Oh, okay.
No.
He's not going for it?
No. It's a screen. This is just wrong. Come on, all of us. Look at the chat. What? No! I
love that response. This is sad.
Warhammer is so good. Come on. No, make the right decisions.
No, don't forget, guys, the commentators are always wrong.
No.
The players are going to do something epic here, and we're never going to have seen it.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, that's also true.
Come on. Now he is stringing. No, he's not.
I just want you guys to see this. This is really important. He literally can just get through the castle wall. He just parks them back there, slings them through. Well, slings them round.
He does need a big roll to get round, though.
So he's got plus.
He's got
3.
a lot of bonuses.
Yeah, he's got a +3. He needs to get here, but he's also got a 3-inch piling. So it's plenty.
Yeah, I do think he could get a model wrapped round there.
I think so as well. And I think he can then just beat them up. He's there, he scores, he wins the game. That's all that matters. Oh no, do you know what? Look.
Yeah, but why would you put them ones there?
I was just hoping, and you
Sorry, Rob.
You already knew that was wrong.
Sorry. Oh, this is exciting.
There is no objective that way, and he leaves his own objective for the keeper to take. That's correct. I say correct. All of us. This is tense now.
Depends what type of play. It says what type of play you are there, right?
Which one? The ones that were Hand of Gorked? We forgot about that. Not only can he Hand of Gork here, he could have puked on them,
and then
which means they get the D6. So now that charge we're talking, that's definitely going round.
I think so. That's an out I'd take. It turns out, you open the show with that he is a careful guy.
He is a careful guy.
So, maybe it just doesn't suit his style and what he wants to do, but you don't want to set yourself up into positions to fight keepers or secrets. Like, it doesn't really work. You know what's going to happen now, though? He's going to roll 1 for both his locusts, and all the keepers are going to die. It's just going to be like, chat's going to go absolutely wild. Slaanesh don't need nerfing. We get Phone Games Workshop back up and tell them it's all okay.
Yeah. So Eric is a 40k ETC player and has been playing for years. I really don't think he feels the pressure of the game, but we have already seen him teleport a unit before he put the War Chanter buff on them. So he's new to this army, as he'll say, like he is new to this army. He hasn't been playing it particularly long, and also this is his like other system. So I think the fact that he's already on 4-0 and he's doing so well is fantastic work.
I think I kid myself sometimes. I don't feel the pressure of the games because when I'm playing them at the end, I don't feel it. Like I don't feel stressed out.
Yeah.
But when you look at my results at the end of things, maybe I am getting things wrong, because of that type. Just because I feel like quite happy and jolly and confident or whatever, it still, doesn't mean you can't make some mistakes in that, does it? So
no, not at all, not at all. Like, and I think as long as we're all honest with ourselves, and then if you make something big enough that it's an issue, like if you play something wrong, then you just forfeit.
Oh, okay. That's just round 5 of eggs against Tom Mosley. I made the biggest punt of my life. Like I played Duality of Death flat out wrong. Mission completely wrong. I just lost it. Like this is how this mission works. No, it's not. Oh, it's okay. I'll do this. No, that's not how the mission works either, Richie. I was like, well played, Tom. It's the end of that game. So it was horrible.
Right, we have the look through the top-down view. We do. Listen, I'm fortunate. I get to travel around the world and make it seem like I at least half know what I'm talking about most of the time without ever having put myself under the pressure of rolling the dice and doing the thing. But I would also say, and I do mean this as someone who's done this a lot, is you learn loads by watching. Like I really do think you, like all of you at home are seeing how the new Big War army works. You're learning rules. You're seeing how it's played. You're seeing what you would do or what it could do. Or maybe what Eric's about to do, which is going to surprise us all in a minute. You get to see how Slaanesh play. It's worth loads to watch and learn, I think, especially if you want to do better at tournaments.
Yeah.
I think it's also quite entertaining, I find.
Yeah.
Personally. There
it's
you go.
great to see a close game.
It is.
And it's not the position that I talked about earlier where it's like, oh, this is close. You're playing really well against Slaanesh. Wait, they've got 70 depravity. He may have 70 depravity in a minute.
He may.
Which in a week after White Dwarf has been out for longer, it's going to be 140 depravity. But he hasn't got as many turns to use it. It's not going to have as big an impact on the game because of how long this one's gone. So
yeah, I think it's going to be very close. I don't think he's going to do the charges. I think they're there, but then that's a flying key. So this is no, that's Shalaxi.
Yes, and this one flies.
This one flies. So get into that backfield. I'm not 100% sold on that, but he's now sat. Do you know what? Do you know what he is? Do you know what he is? He's sat on a CP.
Yeah, true.
Maybe he's
little cheeky
4+ double turn win the game.
Oh, charges going on here.
Right.
What's he doing? He's measuring something.
Can I tell you what he's doing, Rich? He's stressing me out. Yeah, right, because there's a lot of plays happening now, and it's too many angles. I don't know what his plan is.
Look, we get to see. So what's he doing? He's just okay. So he's going to kill the demonettes and stay out with 3. So he's just going to kill those demonettes. Demonettes aren't doing a lot.
Yeah,
they're not doing a lot. I suppose they are. They're a unit that could help on this middle objective here in a minute,
but
maybe.
He's giving him the depravity into.
Well, no, because he's not fighting heroes, is he? Oh no, now he is. He's still trying to stay out of 3 of them. That's not possible, that is it? Surely. Okay, he's managing it. He is managing it. So he's going to charge the demonettes here and circle them here. So I think he's made contact here for half an inch. And then he's circling that keeper in, which can't fly, and is trapped.
Trapped in.
Okay.
He's
so
locking in a whole unit.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's nice.
And also
when
he piles in, he can just elongate the circle, and he can literally drum circle around. We're about to watch 15 hard boys stand around a keeper of secrets and go, "You're locked in combat now, son."
Yeah,
well, you're not locked in combat, but you can't move. That would be amazing. That would be so good. It does also stop summoning.
I just see a load of orcs just stood there, just shouting abuse at him. Just all banging on the drums and shields and just yelling abuse. Just doing that stare that we see Nathan on camera a minute ago, just like looking at him.
Oi, pink thing, you're rubbish.
Yeah, that's my favourite rule in like any game ever is about dwarfs. Be it an MMO or a war game, they always give you a look and do some damage to you.
Yeah.
That's always so
the
good.
keeper's got some outs. If we get a little bit closer so you guys can see, the keeper's got some outs, can go back.
He can get round, and it has got big movements.
But the piling of 3 does mean he can go round, because the closest model is this. So he can circle around.
If he's at the extreme of 3, any closer would be within 3, so we'd have to see how clever he's being there. Oh, we get back to some of the action in the centre now.
10-inch charge in the centre.
Right, so he is going in. This is it. Here we are. Fight on.
That's so everyone in the chat loving this, by the way.
Yeah.
Big plays. Same
so
intention to tag the demon.
And that's on Shalaxi this time, isn't it? So keeping Shalaxi boxed in there and stop that one coming in. Yeah. Well,
because you're going to be.
So yes. Nathan's saying that he fancies, doing the thing where you're going to pile in and get the kill on the keeper. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Actually, thank you very much, Nathan. So what you'll be able to do is just pile in here and attack, even if your always strikes last, because it can't pile in because it's outside of 3. So
as much as they've been locust. So what?
Yeah. So what? So he's just doing the old handbrake trick. I'd forgotten about that. It's been so long. Like you can do that into fleshy courts as well. Yeah. So the old handbrake. So he's going to be able to, even if it's last, when he does decide to pile in, he's got enough output that he's just going to go straight through into that model there.
So yeah, what the commentators know, and well done to players on the table.
Congratulations. Yeah. I definitely feel like an idiot, and I'm over the moon about that. Solid work there, Eric. So that's 2. JP's about to have a terrible time.
Yeah, this is going to get him bad.
Yeah. So
and you know what the biggest thing you kick himself about now is, like, when earlier on it was just keepers staying together, supporting each other, operating on their own without demonettes around them.
Yeah.
To let yourself get caught in this circumstance.
Exactly.
This is why you don't see this type of thing that often. The Slaanesh players are so drummed into now that we don't screen our dice. We don't get caught out with these piling moves. Keepers operate on their own. They can't be struck. And they kill everything they fight. But now, because he's had to bring these Daemonettes with him, certainly down the bottom, to help take this objective, he's got himself in this situation.
So okay. Shalaxi's going to get to pile in 3. Which is at the top here.
Yeah.
That's Shalaxi. But here is outside of 3. So they will get to pile in. They have got the double damage buff on, I think, Nath. But the ones at the bottom certainly do. So that's a Dead Keeper Secrets at the bottom. Dead Keeper Secrets potentially at the top. So that's a lot of the power gone out of the army. Unfortunately, they are going to come back on. 13 depravity points already for JP. He's going to be able to put at least 1 Keeper of Secrets back on the board. And that's if Shalaxi doesn't do any damage.
Yeah.
If Shalaxi does, then there's plenty. And I think that command ability can be used as soon as Shalaxi attacks.
So what happens is when you're allowed to pick to fight, then you spend the command point. But he's not swimming in them anymore.
No, he's not. He's not.
He has got 1 for each of these keepers. What I'm thinking about now is how he's going to use his locust and how this sequence is going to go. Because if 3 of these get to locust, then they're going to be fighting last. So JP doesn't have to worry about this.
So everyone's locust.
So this is locust. So that's going to happen last, so put that out of our mind. But the Demonettes might get a chance to help reduce the damage here a bit and pile in. Help screen them, maybe a touch. So JP's not locust the 3rd unit. Okay. Whatever that is. So he wants to try and control which one needs to fight first. So he wants to see this one first. Yeah, so JP's making that happen now.
So it's just done.
So it's done, but that's the one that wants to go first to stop Shalaxi
from doing her output.
To stop him from fighting twice.
Yeah.
So they need to kill that keeper now. So these keepers can't fight twice. So why does JP want that to happen now?
He could have just got
because he wants it in combat straight away. I'm just running through this all in my mind. Obviously not sounding like no expert here. There's just a lot going on in this fight.
There's a lot. It's big. There's a lot happening all at the same time.
But that's what we've got happening. They've gone first. They'd love to kill this keeper. That will take Shalaxi out for being able to fight twice. If it is even wholly within 12, I'm pretty sure that's a rule. It's quite far, that.
Yeah,
I think so.
That's fine. So that's going to change up. I think by the way, Shalaxi will just be dead. I really do think that. Odd boys.
Well, these are screen though. These ones.
Oh, okay.
So there is a screen up there at the top remaining. So Shalaxi probably isn't even getting hit in this first round of combat. So he needs Shalaxi to be able to fight twice here. But the flying keeper is the most important one.
We'll find out if he ward as well. I'm not sure if he did.
Oh, true. Yeah, good question.
He could have an extra attack. Thank you very much.
Malakri.
I also think while it's all good plays. So the Shalaxi takes 8 damage, or the keeper takes 8 damage.
The keeper took 8 there.
Keeper. Amazing.
Okay, so the keeper's not dead. 8 damage is quite a hit to its stats.
Yeah. So it's going to go, but it's going to put him up to 21 depravity points, which is good. And it's still not. It's not going to punch through them, but with enough depravity points on the board.
Yeah, you are seeing summoning things here, really.
I'm seeing a retreat as well.
Yeah.
Well, not from there, but from the flying keeper, which is there.
No, that's the flying one.
Oh, thank you. So I'm seeing a retreat.
But it's alive.
Yeah,
it's alive. That's that. Okay. Well, that's good because that's going to... Them 4 demonettes that have died from the other Hard Boys attacks leaves a space for those Hard Boys to get onto Shalaxi with their attacks now. But Shalaxi is going to be going twice before them now. And that other keeper is going to be going twice now.
Well,
hopefully,
yes.
We might just see, for all Eric's amazing play here and the problems that JP's put himself in from having to summon demonettes on,
I tell you what, Eric, as Eric's been planning this since the start of the game.
Yeah, this is a clear tactic he's caught on to.
He's just waited for that. Although that said, he would never have been able to do that had those demonettes not been there.
No.
So it's
but JP needed them there.
Yeah, but he couldn't have planned for it, right?
No.
He couldn't have planned for him putting those demonettes down, but it's only the fact that those demonettes were down. He did try to hand a gore. Oh, no, he did hand a gore. He put them up there. So it's only the fact that JP put them on there to score the objective that actually has allowed him to do that. So it's a nice bit of interaction and some counterplay that Eric's been able to put into effect. Really, really nice.
I'm just looking at the stats of that keeper. A little bit weaker. It's lost the sword attack, and the claws only do 3 damage now. Okay, Shalaxi first.
See if
a bit of damage to them. So you'll say that these guys now have got like a 6-up after save and another 6-up save. They're still on 30 war.
So you killed 2.5. So 2.5 is actually 10 damage.
Okay.
So it's pretty impressive into other units. But the things you don't see in those 15 R boys, it's 30 wounds. It's a ton. It's a big block.
I've just seen Tom Lees walk past. I was going to ask him what turn it is, but I thought I best ask you instead, Rob. where are we at with turn? Someone remind me. This is Eric's turn 3, and he's double potential.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so he's got the chance to go into turn 4 in a strong commanding position. But it does depend how these combats roll out, and there's only 34 minutes left on the clock. Always an important factor to think through. A lot of the games here wrapped up. It's been a great event here, the Justice Series GT, the Autumn GT. Lovely venue, by the way.
Thank you very much.
So if you guys, and right next to the train station, literally opposite, right? Is that correct?
Oh yeah. It couldn't be more in the central Liverpool. I think there's a lot of off-putting by people. Worry about getting to Liverpool, how far it is and how expensive it is, etc. I think at a glance, if you just go on booking.com and look at Premier Inns, yes, the city's expensive. There's a lot going on. It's small. We've got our international music venues. We've got 2 football teams. Stag and Hen who's love the place because it's a great town to be in. So yeah, but if you have a look around, there's tons of stuff going on. You can get up here easy and come to these events. 36 we've got today. If I'm honest, that's not the numbers I want to see at this. 64 was our small number. This venue could hold more. We could do bigger. We can do more. Have more people down. And we wanted to grow it really. So it'd be great to see more down in the future. Let's get back to the action now. Sales speech over.
We're in the combat. Shalaxi attacked again, is what we're just rolling through, and I think we're going to see the Keeper of Secrets activate at the top.
That should go twice as well now.
That should go twice.
And then we've got the Demonettes at the bottom to go and attempt.
So another 5. So she only killed 7 from Shalaxi into that unit there. And that does
we
mean...
got 6 attacked the Keeper here by the looks of things, and they've done 8 wounds to it. So maybe looking unlikely that they're going to die this round of combat at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. And especially this, we're going to see this Keeper go twice now, and that's quite... 1 more CP left for that. That's going to leave JP on no CP next turn, though. But he's really going to need to turn roll JP. I think it's getting into that situation next turn now.
Yeah, he does, to put units onto the objectives.
So this is interesting, right? And I know I was like, oh, screw the commentators, what do we know? Still would have went down the middle myself.
I mean, he still hasn't actually gained anything tactically to win the game. If we go back to the top down, that center objective is still not his, and nor is this, and he isn't really threatening it. What he is doing is moving through. He could potentially move off, but if he kills Shalaxi, the Keeper of Secrets that's here at the bottom, then he's great. Gets the double, moves, and he's in a really solid place to come through and get that. But that's if he doesn't, he's locked in. JP's got the capacity to summon some units, try and strike again, and eventually the attrition war is going towards Eric. He only has to get a unit and then 10 Demonettes down here, and within 6, he wins the game. Wins the game.
Yeah.
So it's very, very close, and I think he didn't have to engage where he is now. But he is also draining the CP out of JP.
He is,
JP's only on 1 now.
You don't need a lot of CP to deal with these, though.
No, you don't. And those Demonettes did some pretty good work. They killed the R boys. They could potentially kill those characters that are sat there.
Just outnumber them, Rob.
They don't even need to kill them. So it's very, very close. And he is losing Ard boys quicker and quicker. But maybe underneath the calm and calculating exterior that is Eric, there's a raging Orruk wanting to bust out. Maybe
he's held it in.
Maybe
he held it in for 4 rounds, and they just seen it and it was like, right, this is it. All the other destruction players have been giving him grief all weekend.
And then there's an orc. The inner orc has come out.
Yeah.
So the Thermal Rider Keeper, which is here, has just killed 3 Yard boys. I think it might attack any, but JP's only got 1 CP.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go again, though.
Yeah.
He could, he'll go again, because if he gets the turn, he's going to get a load of CP anyway, so why not? And if he doesn't get the turn, what does that CP do for him keeping it? Not a lot. Battle Shock immunity.
So the Demonettes at the bottom left-hand corner are attacking.
Maybe I'll go twice with them.
To reduce the damage going into that.
Maybe. That's not good, is it?
Nah, those R boys are just going to go through that Keeper Secrets like it's butter. It's crazy. You're talking.
He just needs to get as many as he can here to stop some. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 probably. That should do it.
Yeah.
You think those 10 would take it down?
Yeah, I agree. This priority is huge. Both of them have got their objectives open, but this is...
Oh, look where the buffs are, Rob.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
buffed, not buffed.
Yeah, no,
so
really
they didn't have it, and that's got the war chance of buff. So, yeah, these are strong. They were a weak unit anyway.
Well, half as good. Yeah, that unit's going to rip through.
Yes.
The buff being there meant that's not here. And so that... If the priority happens, this unit of Ard boys can absolutely come and threaten over here. They've got some good charges, don't get me wrong, but I mean, and they could probably get that. If they kill this Keeper and he gets the priority, this is his path to victory. If he hasn't kept that, if not though, JP, he's got the option of moving out of here, summon 10. Wins the game. Does he have to take both? No, he doesn't even have to take both. He just has to do 1, and then that's the flipping points. So his priority roll probably going to decide the shape of the game. That
if
doesn't
he
mean
scores that, he can do 4. Oh, that's not a 4. Neither's that. Go away. So he can do 4, 4, 1, or 1. That's enough, isn't it? Because even if he keeps this for the rest of the game, this one's only worth 8.
Basically, it's a 10-9 split either way because they're both on 1.
Yeah. The 8's still making a difference at that point, but
it is.
Not quite.
I think it's really cool that JP pulled this back there at that bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, just getting that one snuck in there has kept this alive massively. Like, I'll tell you what, I think watching this game, and I don't want to bash on something that we've only seen 2 minutes, but this 30, where's the play to get this? Yes, he's written an army that gets 30, but it's not going anywhere. It's not reducing. No. He's just sitting on that number. It doesn't seem to be like, much of a like.
It's not
where's the work to get it? You know
well, it's done at the start, so he
spent a command point twice, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, but it means he's not spending it anywhere else. And I
just feel like without seeing that drop during the game, I don't know why. Yeah. Seems very easy to achieve anyway, and just you're just sat on it like
it's talking about the war points, and then having them there, so the whole army, it's an army-wide hits on 2s. +1 to hit, and they already hit on 3s. +1 to wound, they already hit wound on 3s. So 2s, 2s on all their attacks, and extra 6 up damage save, all the little bonuses. Yeah. It's a cool little ability, man.
It is.
It stacks really well.
But only one thing that wears it down then, right? Oh no, because there's a command ability that wears it down as well, isn't it? Okay, he's just not choosing to use it. Okay. Yeah, look what LLV is saying there. Eric seems to be from the Leo School of Destruction. I certainly had some conversations with Eric last night where he was talking about Leo's input on this. So, yeah, I think he's absolutely behind this type of list as well. So
I think Tiny Dino is currently in the chat giving it a watch. Doing
nice.
a Cron. Is that you, Cron, from Australia? I hope that would be you. He can spend some to add cast to the Mighty War. That's basically one of the only ways you drop it down.
D6 drop in it.
Yeah.
And then 2 war chances get you 4 back, and the other guy gets you 1 or something. So easy. Yeah. Anyway, just an observation, doesn't feel like a particularly challenging thing to do.
Come on, Orruk players generally can't read those, so...
I suppose count to 30 might be the challenge. I see.
Sorry, say that again, Nate. So... Shalaxi has taken 16 wounds so far. So 8 went through because they were double damaged at 16. Wow. Oh, wow. And because of the DPR save... on Shalaxi, left on 1 wound.
That's incredible.
That is absolutely, not as good in combat, but that's the max depravity as well, without having to stress about doing anything else.
I don't know why I'm getting abused. What did I say?
Oh, well, welcome to the Twitch chat.
Oh, thank you. So.
Oh my god, I left for an hour to Templar, where to Uruk. They're all over the place. 1 wound, so close. Shalaxi Hellbane just stood there, just fearless in the face of those Iron Jaws.
He's going to be disappointed though, isn't he? None of those keepers dead. I'm sure he would have liked to take... Well, he's going to kill the bottom one. Wait, we're going to see that now, right?
Yeah, that's definitely happening. So we're seeing the piles. We're seeing...
This is a big one here. Get them in.
I mean, this
one's dead.
This is a no-brainer, by the way. If is there still the full unit of 15 at the bottom, Nath, or is it 14? We see the unit?
This is full.
1 has died, so 14. So unfortunately, it's only 28 attacks, 2s. No, an extra 1 for the champ. So 29 attacks, 2s, rend 1, 2 damage each.
Right.
Really, really good.
25 minutes left on the round here.
And some of them have to fight the Demonettes, but I still think that keeper's going to go down.
I think there's enough. Seeing the damage on there, and Shalaxi doesn't, and these don't have an after save. This is a dead keeper down here. Can't be a problem here.
Where can I find the list? If you guys just scroll down, you'll be able to see the lists. I'm very interested to see. We've seen the Big War a lot on the tabletops. We've only seen the Bone Splitters once. There's still the Iron Jaws version of this as well, where lots of these units are doing something very similar, but they've got a lot of their own mechanics. For instance, as being talked about in the chat, Mighty Destroyers. So being able to activate in the hero phase, that's really important. Being able to countercharge, that's going to be huge. There's loads of options. So I think Games Workshop are giving some real good utility to this model range, which is good. Whether or not they're able to compete up with Slaanesh, that's going to be the hard bat.
What do you think of what seems to be a change to be moving away from rerolls here as well?
Oh, huge.
You like
talked about on that, like when we first did when the Honest Wargamer, we did the cities review. I was like, first thing to obviously see, there's pluses to hit, there's pluses to wound, there's minuses to hit, there's minus to wound. In this, there's the buffs, there the debuffs, no rerolls. There we go. Pretty much, and that's
one
fantastic.
Keeper down there, guys.
Yeah, 1 keeper down. It's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that depravity number now. That's creeping back up to
48.
To scary levels.
So yeah, how much damage did that unit do?
And we're about to go to turn 4, so there is time to do it.
How much unit? How much damage did that unit of Iron Jaws do? So priority roll now. It's going to be a big. All the demonettes also dead. So he's controlled that bottom. So the objectives now are here, here, and here. This is going to be the game, by the way. Yeah, this is going to be what's happening. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait to find out how it goes. Thank you for joining us, by the way, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the games. If you have enjoyed the games, you've enjoyed what we do, we would love it if you would subscribe to our Twitch or join our Patreon. It means the world to us, but also it's how we're able to professionally do this for a living. So it would, if you like it, help us do it. So that's important. Just finding out now.
Priority rolls we're waiting for, are we?
Priority roll, I'm pretty certain. That looks like a 6 from Eric, again proving that he doesn't stop rolling priority rolls. But we'll double check that. We'll find out.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
What's that roll?
Nathan,
I bet it's boring. It's
priority roll,
going to be
Nathan.
boring Battle Shock rolls.
Battle shots first. Oh my god, it's got so... Wow, 5 more Iron Jaws are running away because he rolled a 6. That's actually really important for clearing board space up there.
It does. Yeah, makes summoning a bit easier over
If
there.
JP gets the turn, he can win the game. Why Eric didn't go here?
He has left himself open, hasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he
And
always won
how is Eric going to win with a turn roll now?
This unit here, there.
Okay. Yeah.
So just without 3, charge with +3 to do it. He's just got to connect there.
So not this buff won't happen. This War Chanter one will go.
No, yeah.
Are all the other buffs nothing?
Wow!
JP has won the
priority roll.
So JP's going to give it away. Yeah? Oh, is that like the oldest joke in broadcasting history? It's my first time.
Don't worry about it. We'll
my
do it
first
every
time.
time.
Nice. Thank you. It's like whenever I see people at like, when was the last time I dropped the car off at the airport?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the oldest joke you have? Like, that's not my Ferrari. Where's my Ferrari? I dropped off. You know. Yeah. He's like, yeah, that's probably the biggest one I ever hear. Right.
So JP has got the priority roll. I'm going to be quiet because the room's quite quiet. He should take the turn, and he's got the game to win.
I think he's doing heals now, isn't he, and getting on with it.
So we're going to double check. Yeah. So he's.
Okay.
So
Nathan,
it says that Eric's taking the turn on the overlay, but JP is currently active. So JP has decided to take the turn.
So that's buffed that keeper up another bracket. Give it another 2 inches of movement, which is nice as well.
Oh, 2-inch move.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra movement just to get over here. I know he's got the thermal rider and that, but because that's a reasonable gap. He's got to clear, hasn't he? You know.
Yeah, he does. He's got to get 3 inches away there. Oh, I've just gone the wrong way. Sorry.
Remember, they can't retreat and charge.
No, but he doesn't need to. He just needs to retreat summon.
And he's get summoning over
there.
there.
But you can also just... Oh, no.
So Eric's guys are flat on it. He's got to make Godseeker's rolls to win.
He can just
+1
chain
charges.
summon.
Yeah, he's got to obviously. He needs to get this out. He needs to get units summoned there, and he needs to make charges.
Yeah.
Because Eric screened it so that he doesn't automatically take them, because they're all on it.
Yeah.
So you can't end up within 6. He's got to make his charges.
What's the optimal in that situation? What's the optimum? Do you do 2 inches behind the objective, so they're always as far away from possible? So that's 9 away, yeah. But then they have to make the 9, or does it
like 2.5 behind, so your charge is as big as possible, probably.
But then it still always has to be a 9 anyway.
Yeah, so you're still within the charge range. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah,
interesting. I suppose actually the smart players be 2.5 inches forward to create the biggest the less area to put them in.
It's to close this gap in this case. Yeah, you're right. In this case here, that's spot on. Like measuring, because that's actually, you know, there's not a lot of room there.
No, there's not. He has to go down, across, and back up.
Yeah.
So I think that's a smart play. This is so
I know JP's
close.
been in this position before as well. He's going to summon as many units as he possibly can now.
He's
he's going to give himself as many outs as he can.
He's only sat on 2 CP for the reroll charges. Yeah, I mean, surely you just charge the cheapest unit as many times as possible.
Like 5s. Can these fight at all? They must. They're orcs, right?
So. No. Weirdly, the weird knob's not too bad, and the war chant is okay, but they're not fighting off 10 demonettes.
Oh, okay, but
maybe,
10's a small
maybe.
ceiling.
Let's have a look
6 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, damage 1.
It's okay.
But did they get buffed by all that stuff?
Only if, so they got +1 to hit, +1 to wound.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can do okay.
6 attacks, they can do all right. A modified hit roll for attack is a 6. It scores 2 instead of 1. So, have that Slaanesh back at you. So, that's, okay.
Yeah, so
he has got a fight there.
It's very, very close. And also he has to, like, because our table boss hasn't told him, we haven't told him. We obviously have been sat here doing the maths, only working out how to win the game. He might not know that this is the turn to burn.
Yeah,
like
it's not a simple mission.
There's a bunch of mistakes that you can make, and again.
And I've been over to the table now as well in official capacity to tell them that they've got basically 22 minutes and they've both got to play a turn.
Yeah.
So we're very pro 5 turns here as well. So it could be an interesting bit of judging for me.
Oh, there we go.
In a moment. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it's CP is the thing now. So we see how much more CP he can make. Because he's going to want to get this guy over there, this extra movement, hopefully he can fit. Then he can get his summons on the go wherever they'll fit.
Yep.
Then he needs to make his charges. And he doesn't want to be using CP to charge. Not all of it, because I think it's probably just a battle shock situation here. Like these can kill some demonettes, right?
Yeah.
And you're just going to make sure you've got 2 of them left.
That's
battle shock immune. Game 1.
I mean, he's still got the wheels, for instance, that he could cast.
Yeah.
And throw them over. And
well,
also,
if you can get one of these dead from spells.
Mirror.
True. He gets one of these off with spells, then he just summons onto it. He doesn't have to roll any dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got quite a few out here, hasn't he, Rob?
So the real scores are exactly what you see. That it's 1 apiece. What happens with the scenario is you hold the objectives until you decide to burn them. So there are 4 on the board. Currently, they get worth more though. As the game goes on, there are 2 that have been burnt. So these were burnt. Eric first, and then JP pulled it back, which is why they're on their 1-1. And you see that they scored them in the same battle round. They're now all worth 4 points each.
So these are worth 4 to Eric, and these are worth 4 to JP. And on the opposite side, 1 and 1.
Exactly. So if you can just take one, not only do you score 1, but you deny your opponent 3. Which is really important, and that's where the swing comes. And so if JP gets into either of these 2 objectives here with more... Oh, no, I've done that wrong, sorry. So the wheels are coming out, and the mirror has also got to come out as well, surely. Just trying to... Because then if he just clears, all he has to do is actually kill one of those units, and then he can just summon freely onto him. Doesn't matter about the charge.
Absolutely. Yeah. The mirror will position nicely in between whatever 2 he decides to go for. I imagine 6 inches here. Comfortably going to hit 2 characters. We're going to be talking up here maybe. And yeah, can easily take those 4 chances out. So, wowza. Okay. So wheels have gone for the profits at the top. I take it none of these. They all get that 6-up after save, do they? From the
whole army.
From the big war?
Yeah. So and the Wargog Prophet is the one with the least wounds, actually.
Okay.
So I think he only has 6 wounds. He's only taken 2 though. So very close, down to but nothing. So he'll still have 4 wounds left. I think that if someone could double check me on the Wargog Prophet. It's either 5 or 6.
Okay.
Knowing the wound profile for every unit in the game,
it's quite challenging. Especially, like these are the type of characters that never see any action, do they?
Well, the Wargog will see more now.
What does it do?
Yeah.
He is a 7 wound character.
Wow, I'm really happy about that. I'm glad they've got some beefy characters. Yeah, there we go. So he's only got 5 left. Thank you, Malakri, in the chat. 5 wounds left.
Okay.
The mirror though can just nuke.
Well, 2 6s would only do 4, so doesn't. Okay, so you tried an arcane, yeah.
That hasn't happened.
Okay.
Interesting fact, like the epitome, which does 2 spells, is at the back of the board having to screen instead of being in the game. Yeah. Just again, a thing to think about and take away from this game, and to think about high-level competitive play is that deep striking. We know we're going to see it from Shadow Warriors in Free Cities in the future. We've already seen it used so effectively by Daughters of Cain, Kinry, and Heartrenders in the past. So just always something to be conscious of. Handagort, yourself you've used so well.
Yeah.
Deep striking also
keeps people so honest.
Eels.
Look at this. Oh, look at this. What are these doing? Just literally just keeping Eric honest.
Yeah.
So here's the big retreat. This is going over now.
It's happening.
So he is going to get also to put this within 6 of one of the objectives, isn't he? So
which is
another model at least to help. He's going to make sure wholly within 12 if he wants to use any command points to fight twice, which I can't see him needing to do.
So he's ran that though. He's run that. He's run that for the summoning. And it's this point where you talk about the Free Cities book as an army, or even the Orruk's book, they just can't attrition. Because currently, if you look at it, you think, all right, okay, almost wounded Shalaxi, keeper still pretty damaged, unit of boys left, another unit of boys left, there's not much left. We're about to see a couple of 100 points at least put on the tabletop, late game to win the game. And that really is the strength.
I went back to what did I...
Yeah.
Did I say earlier on? We see these games that just play out awesome, and at the end of the game, pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
He brings a load of more units on.
And by just playing the game.
Yeah.
By just being there and playing. Yeah.
Not giving up anything. Not casting spells like Seraphon. Not having to cast spells like Tzeentch, or do a million complicated things like Nurgle need to do,
But it's not that. It's I wouldn't mind it, but they just
make
need
some more decisions, right?
Well, you just need to make it so that everything costs like 4 times as much.
Yeah.
Because they get 4 times depravity. They get that's why we do summoning points, right? Like 48 summoning points for Tzeentch would be amazing.
No, man.
You're laughing. I'm putting down 2 units of Pink Horrors. I'm putting down a Lord of Change. I'm putting down some pretty good stuff for that. But you can't generate that over a turn with Tzeentch. A game, sorry. In a game with Tzeentch, you can do that, obviously, with Slaanesh. But let's not bang on this drum that we all know about so far. JP, you don't have to do anything, bro. Just do the one thing.
He's going to protect himself from Eric's turn 4, win him back. Because I'm going to make them do that. That's going to happen. So I don't. He's maybe screening something about a teleport. I don't know what he can teleport here. These just need to go here, right?
Yeah.
Like just run them there. I don't know what the teleport rule is.
For what?
Hand the Gork. You can pick up one of these.
Unit within 24.
Within 24, so we can't get these. So it's just the same as the Gits one then, really, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not getting teleported anywhere. One of these can't take one of them off them. They just need to get here, right, and just stop them ever getting over it.
Yeah.
Which is going backwards. So that is not the best way to give your opponent no outs.
Who's everyone rooting for? We're right into these dire moments.
These can do it, though, in fairness. So this unit here can move in and make that happen. So.
But this is important. If none of these charges happen, once these units are summoned,
JP will be sick because in face, I'm a game 5 against
and Godseekers gives you
Bradshaw.
+1.
Yeah,
is that
against
right?
Bradshaw, like he failed like about 4,
right?
And I lost again, for a podium. So he'll be sick if he puts himself in the same position for it. Like, but yeah, you Godseekers +1. So hopefully for my team here, I am going to see him, get these things right here and get that done. So I'm really screening these off now.
Yeah, which I think is the right
as many
decision.
models as in range as possible. So if JP are thinking about a burn here now?
He's going to burn them all.
Oh, where he wins the game, yeah.
Yeah, he just wins the game.
But if he doesn't?
Yeah.
If this doesn't happen, he's got to make sure Eric doesn't win.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. He's playing turn 5. That's a really good point. And also, I know that this is the only turn he's going to get.
Yeah.
And he's also potentially cutting into Eric's time at this point. So he should just put his units on the board, go for the charge. But then I guess he does have to protect Eric's one turn he's going to get.
Yeah.
But then it would end up as a minor victory to someone.
Yeah, so it's going to be. So what JP is hoping for now is at minimum a 4, a 4,
and a 1,
and 1/1 to put him to 10, which leaves Eric on
a 4. So he just gets
8.
Oh yeah, 8. So he goes to 9. Yeah, so it's 10
at max.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen and he doesn't get that, he doesn't get any of these up here, then Eric, and then into the turn 5 roll off. These are the worth 8.
Yes.
So there's a lot to think about here. So really,
Eric can take this. So actually, I think.
But then Eric has 2 here for 8, doesn't he? So if these don't get taken, he's got 8, and he's got 8 to go to 17. And then JP on 5 would have the same if we don't get them. So if JP burns this now, Eric can win on 5.
Yeah.
So it's like what you keep or get rid of.
It can be interesting to see.
I love this mission. I love it.
Especially when the clock's on.
The clock is so tight on these guys now.
You don't have time to be sat there working it out. You have to mechanically move your models across the board. There's 12 minutes left on the clock.
No, there's 8.5.
Oh, 8.5.
And JP's had over half his time allocated really for these turns. So I am definitely going to be getting involved in the decision on this one.
So let us know how you guys. Well, if he gets the summon, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, if he gets to summon, the ideal situation now this game just ends, and ideal for me because I'm obviously still supporting my buddy. So, biased.
Very, very close. Very close. He's just got to get those bodies on the board now, ASAP. Get the charge in. He's just got to roll them and put them down. So how many Demon X can he summon for 48?
48. Oh.
Does anyone know?
20. Two lots of tens and
Two
tens and 9, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tens are only 9 points, I believe. So someone tell us. Much easier.
And he just needs to put them out in lines like this as well, just to get them in.
He's just got to get as many. And he'll like some. Nice one, AD.
This is a stupid game.
So that's less 50, right? That's like 5 units to charge and take it. Because if this keeper is counting towards this one, then he only needs 1 model here. So I don't know if there's any smaller models he can do to charge, any chariots he can do to charge.
If he can put, if he's got 50 Demon to put down,
it's just what he can fit there.
Yeah, it's what he can fit there. If he can put them down, then all he's effectively having to do is roll 7 8-inch charges because it's Godseekers. Although when you summon them in, are they still Godseekers?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like the old Sylvaneth, Wargrove stuff. So
It's just
a battalion stuff. You bought those ones in a battalion.
Yeah.
These are just your army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Here we go. Summoning phase.
So here we go. So what's he going to put down? I'd like if
I
he
love
just,
how it's called the summoning phase.
I'd like if he just
We
puts
don't-
down.
That isn't a phase of the game,
So
Like,
I'd really
we're just
expect him
starting
to
that
just
one
put
in.
down 1 keeper. Right, not 5 units of 10, just 1 keeper.
One.
He's like, I'm rolling an 8, I'm going to win the game, screw you.
I don't know how. You know what is an issue though? How many has he got on the board? 30. I know he's got 20 more of them because his summoning pool's a real issue. He doesn't have 50. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't got 50 more. He's got. I think JP's probably got like 20 more of them, maybe 30. And then he's got a bunch of chariots. He's got some fiends. He's got a couple of single characters. So it's going to be maybe a what do you own issue here, but
Yeah, it's been very close. Interestingly, there's been very little actual combat during this game. There's been very few interactions. A lot of it's just been about posturing and movement. And it's still gone pretty quick. It's still flown by.
so the clock you can't see run on screen in a minute, but it's like 5.5 minutes. So right now we're looking at this game ending if JP makes any of these priority rolls, which should be a nice simple way to end this tournament.
Real simple.
Yeah. Otherwise, we've got a little bit of interesting one. It'll be about Eric getting that unit in down the bottom and making that fight happen really to see if it ends it instantly. So
he needs to just rack them up exactly like
is
that.
Eric in the same position here, isn't he? He's in exactly the same. If these survive 4, 8, 10, leaving him on 9. Yeah. So they're both in exactly the same position. Yeah.
It's just this charge. If it's not this charge, that unit moves, and if it gets a long bomb charge, or this unit moves and it gets a long bomb charge and can sneak anything around,
Exactly.
That's the game.
Yeah, that's the game. So there's some of these cast some spells on these to do some damage to them, give them the D6 move, etc., etc.
Yeah, Green Puke, that's a really good point. I've forgotten about
And
that.
Eric's going to be sure. Yeah.
So cast that on them. Green Pukes, that can give a D6, so move a little bit closer, and then charge
Move
with
and
plus
go
3.
round. Yeah.
Yeah, loads of options.
Yeah, I think that's the point that's getting made there in the chat. That room for charges is definitely going to be an element here. Wholly within 12 of the keeper and outside the 9. He's not going to get that money because I've got to presume that that's closed, right? I would imagine there's no gap. That is 18 inches between those two units.
No room.
Yeah, so he's going to be panning here. Look, Eric's checking him back here. Yeah, he's so few. He's probably going to have strings of demonettes like that. One model is what I'd be doing here. One at the front, one at the front, one at the front, one at the front. Pressure this one objective. And that's his chance to win.
Yeah, that needs to be what he does.
So many strings of guys. I've done this with Dryads countless times where I've been teleporting them around, trying to get that last final grab, and just one model, just every chance I can to make that charge. So
they're just measuring now,
Ian
and our head
getting
judge
involved,
Ian just going and making sure that it's all fair, done correctly, which is great to see. So we'll see where this goes.
Take the tower out of measure. My God, what about our immersion? that would make good sense.
That
though.
is actually blocking stuff.
It
though.
is. Yeah.
It's actually quite important.
Yeah.
When you see. I've actually got the shot there. There you go. You can see it's important because there's a hole in the middle to charge through, and that's actually important for all of the units, I think. So keeping it there, I would argue.
Come on, these exciting rolls. Look, he's checking them over there as well.
Oh,
He's forcing them. Look at this little gap.
Down as well.
He's run out of models.
Well, I think
what can he fit?
Rapture's going to be able to shoot, right?
You can't shoot. What's he going to charge? Rob.
Thank you so much.
Steady.
Thank you, I got too excited. Oh, he's lost the game.
JP, don't do that. Don't fucking help. Rob, sorry, I swore. No.
It's okay, don't worry. Can you shoot that?
Shoot that one. Yeah,
shoot that one.
Shoot that
inches.
one. Well, in fairness, shoot that one, then this keeper holds it.
Yeah.
It's not doing that many wounds,
no.
so let's calm down.
Yeah, we've seen some more. What's that going
Yeah,
down?
true. And if this is still within 60 wins, so maybe it is an out.
I tell you what, every game at this event, the players have just been messing with my fancy camera. Look at this. I'm just like, where's the action? They're like, right behind that tower.
That position, terrible.
Get out of my heart.
No way.
You're breaking me. Which is fine. There you go. 5 people involved there in this. Very close. I am too excited.
2 minutes left on the
edge
round. Roll these charges.
Nathan Prescott, how many units have actually gone down?
We're trying to squeeze another model in now. Look at this. Little cheeky hero of some description.
So they're just finding out now. Here, Nath, how many units have gone down? It looks like 2 units of Demonettes and a Herald and in Rapturous. So 4 charges.
He needs them Demonettes in, because otherwise those characters...
Yeah.
It's going to be a... Oh, my God. Going to be a slap up between 80-point characters, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be very, very close.
None of these characters are 80 points, are
Richie's very excited. Richie's really excited. Like, he's getting to commentate on it, and he's his mate who could potentially win the tournament. He's over the moon about it.
I'm waiting to get involved as well. It's like, I'm itching.
I really want Slaanesh to win so I can rag on them later. So I just want you... Oh! And that's it. That's it, game. Oh,
well, no, it's going to survive. It's going to survive.
It's going to survive.
Okay, we're going to fight.
Next charge. Big charge. Call it out, Nath. Let us know what he rolls.
Oh, dear. Oh...
Demonettes rolled an 8 with +1. There's a 9.
Yeah, too many models.
There's the handshake.
Wow.
Oh.
JP, I would be super pleased with that, because after... certainly after the last time I just mentioned, where he failed so many of those to not take a tournament down, he'll be absolutely over the moon with that.
So and what he's done here is gone through with, so he's outscored this, and then what that basically means is he scores this for 1 point, then burns these for 4, then that gives him 9 here, takes him up to 10, and then this becomes 8
at
for
max,
Eric, and then he unfortunately only gets 9, so it's a 1 point victory. So close. When this is us. Yeah. Hello. Oh,
that was great.
How do you feel?
Oh, brilliant. That was a really, really, really good game.
It was a good game, yeah.
Definitely threw us off on some things he'd done. Eric made some great plays.
Yeah, the handbrake. I forgot about the handbrake.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten.
Sweet. It's because, like I was saying, you just don't see it because keepers operate on their own or in groups on their own so much because people have been caught out by that.
Yeah, and also normally because as we saw earlier when he was stuck in triplicate, like they normally there's a big block of 30 in front of them, or they're all 3 together, so can't really handbrake into one keeper.
Yeah.
Or it's over. But amazing and over the moon for JP. Realistically, a little bit of a shame for Eric, but I really think he really has showcased just how powerful that army could be over the course of the next few years.
Yeah, no. That was really impressive. Like, I think the big war looks super interesting. 2s and 2s, making that consistency happen all the time. It's got loads of teleporting around the board. Look, definitely more interesting to play than I give it. So I was impressed.
And also, I don't think we saw a lot of the ranged output as well that can come from the shamans.
Ian was saying that to me previously. He's like, look, have a look, watch for these range attacks and the Bellwind and the nukes he was doing. But I guess it's because his units aren't that big, are they, as well, and stuff. So
no, he didn't really have the opportunity or the other place to put it, or he was using the spells to do the other things. But super close. Again, Slaanesh are going to be bumping up their numbers again. Currently on a 68, nearly 70% win rate. Stoked for JP. Really happy. It's been a great event here at the Justice Series GT. Thank you very much for having us. Also, thank you for commentating.
Thank you so much for coming. Great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, absolutely. It was good fun. So,
big shout out.
Thank you for having me on. I hope you all understood what I said. So, sorry, we're on camera now. Hope you all understood what I said. So, that's great. I mean, thanks so much for coming, mate. Honestly, God, really appreciate you coming down and doing it. It's added a lot to the event. So,
I just love watching Warhammer. Like, truth be told, but I know for a fact everyone else at home does as well. And also, so many things that we all learn. Like, it's a conversation for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I remember handbraking now. That's great.
Yeah.
A big shout out to everyone. Thank you to Ian for helping with the commentary. Thank you so much to Mr. Nathan Prescott helping out. We were a man down this weekend, so thank you guys jumping in.
No problem.
Nathan has stepped up and done amazing table bossing, so thanks. Thank you to all you guys, of course. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who subscribes on Patreon and Twitch, helps us support the show. If you get the opportunity to, we would love some support. But of course, join us next week. We're at Bloodshed at the Shire.
Yes, I'll be there playing. So
that's very exciting. I think there's a lot of big names, a lot of big armies going.
There's a lot. It's going to be a tough event, that one.
Tough. Really interesting.
And I can't wait to see what Stephen that's put on as well.
Yes, can't wait to see the event as well, especially after going to something like this, which is just great. If you get the opportunity to come to this, I would like to. Anyway, you guys have been wicked, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much.